how are you going to do it next year when you're in Europe? Ten Hag's in charge and Conte's got a full season. Tuchel, Klopp, Pep. All these managers are clear of Arteta. Arteta for me is like a mid-table level manager.
By sheer coincidence.
Half an hour to go here. Oh, it's gone through the wall and it's in.
His eyes look sad.
I can smell you.
I'll never let go, I promise.
Nothing faster.
Can this team win the league?
Ladies and gentlemen,
We can.
we got him.
Meanwhile,
You're the click king right now. I'm all right now. No, you know what? I'm
Good evening.
Chelsea are poor. 5-point gap, and then Liverpool lose as well later on. We can make a gap, you know. It ain't easy for Matisse right now. It ain't easy, man. What? What the fuck? Fuck, man. Fuck! How's that happened, man? I'm gonna be pissed off when we lose this game. What are you doing? Can't be having a 2-0. The game, man. This is your time to shine now.
It's Lukaku.
Oh, man! 2-0 already! Already! Chelsea have just lost. I'm talking about a 5-point gap. Good evening, you know. Good evening. Good evening. Luke Shaw. Oh, deflected it! Come on! We're back in it. Lindelof, go to him. Go to him, Lindelof. Don't back off him. Don't back off him. Why are you backing off him? Why are you backing off him? Why? Leave this off again, man. Why are you backing off him?
What the fuck did I do?
Flipping shit. Miserable weather. Miserable day. 4-1 Newcastle as well. Yeah, out of it.
Standing ovation, man. And what was that? Oh, bad for Matisse. Yo, come sit next to me, big man. Yeah, me and you together. Don't go anywhere about Matisse. SAEED.
I prefer not to speak today. I am humble today. Humbler. Football is a humbler.
Oh, when you think you're going title challenge, oh, come sit next to me.
Listen, I did not say title challenge. Let me get that one out there.
Title challenge. Yes, you did.
I did not say it.
Yes, you did.
I brought someone on, yeah, on the Sunday night stream. He knows who he is. Faz, I'm calling you out. You said it. I didn't say it.
Right, you're right. Wait, so what? The title challenge thing
No,
was true?
because I said I'm going to call him out, but I did
The
not
title
say
challenge
it.
thing was true.
No, I didn't say it. It wasn't me.
Did you nod your head at all or smile and say yes?
No, nothing.
Nothing. No.
Yeah, bro, are you sure? Because I don't believe you. I bet he agreed, man. Nah, it's mad.
Like,
You know what I
listen.
thought was going to happen, yeah? I thought he was going to get SAEED with the push-ups, spin him, and then get the Ronaldo bullying video of the kid and then make him go, like, you know, I just was waiting for that, but it didn't happen.
Man.
But big up Skull, man. That was the only thing I was like, yo, we need to...
Wait, Saeed was doing press-ups? What,
No,
on the
because
wall?
who's doing it on the wall?
Nah, what I was doing, man.
Jerry, there's a press against the wall.
And then take out Ronaldo's
Listen.
son and put SAEED there, fam.
Yo.
I should have DM'd Skull to do that as well. That would be
It
funny.
ain't easy.
Ain't easy out here, man. Fuck.
Wait, Toby, you got away lightly, man. You got away lightly. You're counting your blessings there,
I
aren't
did.
you?
I did.
Do you know
But I
what?
think it's only right. I think my
He ran a
across all
poll.
the 3 losses. My team performed the best. If
No,
that
he
is
ran
such
a
a
poll.
thing.
That's
So,
fine. He ran a poll.
yeah, maybe
What
that's why
happened-
golf spared me. I don't know.
Skull, no, what happened was Skull ran a poll and like he ran the poll, but because he said catch life, a lot of the comments misinterpreted that, and they actually wanted Toby to get cooked, but they voted for me. So Toby lost the poll, and then he didn't get cooked. But really,
No. I saw that poll. A lot of people thought that you were voting to get cooked, and you weren't. You were voting to get saved, and SAEED won it, bro. But if you look in the comments, every single comment, most of them are saying SAEED, bro. I barely had
a lot of people said don't cook Matisse, man.
Why me? Why me though? Chelsea, man.
You're always talking about
Chelsea
clip
should be
king,
cooked.
SAEED.
Yeah,
You're always
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
clip king.
We've
You are
got
the
one
clip
loss in
king.
10.
You are the
We
clip
have one
king.
loss in 10.
We
have
have
one
one
loss
loss
in
in
10.
10.
What a trophy. I want this, man. I want Chelsea.
You are golden
You know
content for
what
Skull
you got?
Toggery.
Chelsea.
You know who you
need to
got
be
in
cooked.
the Europa League? You got Barcelona. You better make sure you win that because I know you said you're going to win
don't
Europa
worry
League.
about it.
Yeah, don't worry about
Chelsea
that.
need
sweet,
our
bro.
cooking today, not United. United have got
Listen.
one loss in 10. We need to cook Chelsea today.
People are saying, why am I
Chelsea need to be
happy?
cooked.
Okay, first of all, before you get into your Chelsea agenda, I already said we was going to draw this game. So you could tell already I wasn't really that confident. But
Well, you did.
reason
you,
why I'm so
you
happy.
didn't want to back your team.
Yeah, because why would I back them? Because look what happened. Did you not see that shit? Anyway, so the reason why I'm happy is because it was a great edit. So fair play to Skull. That was funny. I didn't realize my AFTV clip would be there. I forgot about that. That doesn't look good. I'm not gonna lie.
That was deep diving there.
That doesn't look good.
That didn't look good. That was bad.
Oh, and also, we haven't even actually talked about it. Turkish in the midst of that said Arsenal's going to win the league. So
Not gonna. Not going to. Not going to. I was asked, can we? And the answer was yes.
He said yes.
The answer was
It's
yes.
creeping up that little bit. Creeping up a little bit more.
Why do you say that here? Why do you say it when you're in,
Well, obviously,
Big Bro's house?
it's a new dawn. It's a new day, isn't it? Obviously, we just beat Chelsea away. Out of the 4 Big 6 fixtures, we won 3 of them this season so far. 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw.
Brother.
Goals scored, goals conceded.
Yeah.
What, second best? Actually, Newcastle conceded. Joint best defensive record in the league.
Is it the best? Is it the best striking campaign Arsenal have ever had? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think in terms of starts to the season, yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of have every right to be a bit chesty, a bit confident, but we'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? Long way to go.
You will see, Hugh, man. Let's see. We'll build something up. Don't you worry about that, my guy.
Oh, the rivalry's here. We love to see it.
I haven't seen Turkish with that look in his eye before. I've never seen this kind of facial
Ain't gonna be
expression.
no rivalry, man.
Rivalry.
Zinchenko and Jesus and Arteta, man. They're all fucking.
I told you last week.
Love each other.
Liverpool handed over the baton to Arsenal. The new rivalry, the new blockbuster. We made a new beast to challenge with, a new dancing partner, if you like.
Nah, Liverpool are back, man. Liverpool are back, I think.
Man said Liverpool are back. Even that's news as well. But we're going to start with Arsenal-Chelsea or Chelsea-Arsenal. Away. But before we do, people, make sure you guys hit the like button if you haven't already. Let me check how many likes we're on. 950. Decent still, first few minutes. But obviously, we get it up to 2,000. There's already 5.5K in the building. So make sure you get it to 2,000 likes. And as always, show some love to HUGH's channel, SAEED's channel, GRIZZ's channel, TOBS' channel, and MATISSE's channel, as well as Thuggery. Big up Thuggery. He's been on a roll recently. He messaged me at the start of the season saying that he ain't going to be as consistent as last season, but over the last few weeks, he's been pretty consistent still. So big up Thuggery as well. Show him some love. His channel's there, and the Big 6 channel, and obviously this channel, if you haven't already. But yeah, let's get into it then. Arsenal and Chelsea, 1-0 away from home. What are you, man, saying?
I feel like
Chelsea was shit. Arsenal were good.
I feel like Arsenal deserve their segment. If you want to give them their praise first before I rip into the team.
Yeah, I think that's the best place.
I think it's fair because if my team had performed like that away from home, bullied the opposition like that, I would want my chest out.
I mean, I can speak on Arsenal as well if you want. Really.
Oh, bet you can.
Now save your voice for Liverpool. We're going to talk on Liverpool.
Save your voice, man. Save your voice, man.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You got a song? You got a song for us?
Oh, so okay.
Arsenal song?
I just want
Arsenal forever. What's that song they played before the ground at Arsenal?
Oh, did you know? You got that one for us? You want to sing it?
Did you know, Turkish? Did you see that? I just wanted to test. This is a social experiment. I just wanted to trigger you two in the first 5 seconds, and that's it. I've done it. That job done.
Right.
Turkish, speak on Arsenal.
Just like that.
Cool.
What can I say?
He's got his chest out today, Grizz. I know why.
I'm hearing this Grizz energy. I'm banking it.
I've got no energy today. You guys already got energy before the show.
You got energy. Cool.
I told you. No. I told you before the show. I've got no energy. It's been a long 48 hours, a very successful 48 hours in many aspects, but stressful. And I'm really tired. You can tell from my voice. I've got no energy.
What was stressful about the 48
I've got no energy. I'll explain when it's my turn.
What was stressful about picking up
and FSG are setting up as well. I thought you'd be happy.
Bro, you don't know everything about my life, innit? Do you know everything about my life?
No, but I think I know.
Exactly. Let me speak about my life, innit, later.
I think I know if
I get a chance.
We're touching on FSG and all that business as well when we move on to the Tottenham Liverpool game, because that was obviously a big one as well. But yeah, Arsenal. Like I said, obviously Robbie asked me, can we win the league? And I think we can. It just turns to the owners now. The owners have to do what they need to do in January. What they didn't do last January. Obviously, last January was about top 4. This one is more about the title. I think when you look at Man City without Haaland, they're still a very good team, very strong team with quality players, but they're not the same team in terms of scoring goals. And I think how many games has he missed this season, Hugh? First one was Copenhagen, isn't it? 0-0.
He missed Copenhagen. He missed Leicester, yeah, just the 2.
1-0. De Bruyne.
Or Sevilla as well. He missed 3.
Oh yeah, he missed that one as well. The De Bruyne free kick for Leicester, and then the other day, what was it? 1-1, and he came on and goal disallowed, and then he gets one at the end, the penalty. But listen, as much as I'm hoping for the best with Arsenal, because our depth isn't quite up there in terms of pushing City with this squad. But you had 2 players in. Well, I say 2 players in January. quality players that's going to have an immediate impact on the team, and as well as a long-term impact. It's not about panic buying and just bringing someone for the short term. You've got to think long-term as well, and that's something that Arteta's been good at so far. So I trust that he has people in mind, but it needs to get done. Sorry, let me just save these before I lose it. But yeah, Robbie asked me, can I win the league? I said, yeah. I mean, I don't know what fence that you might think I'm sitting on now, Tobs, but talk to me, my guy.
No offense. I'm just taken aback that you've actually picked a side.
It's my side. I said a long time ago. I said a long time ago, my guy.
I'm just shocked. I can't believe the Turkish that's unfolding. And listen, Arteta and Arsenal got this out of you, so fair play, man. They finally made a man of you when it comes to supporting your club. So I respect it.
The man at it.
I respect it,
bro. When you get dragged through the mud so long, yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy. Obviously,
he knows. He knows.
I know. Trust me. I know.
But he was raised in the mud. So when you're raised in the mud, that's
all the years of you saying, winter's coming,
gold and nice trophies and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? It's all mad. And then
listen, all the years of you saying winter's coming. These times you were stuck deep in the trenches, deep in the north. You were in Craster's Keep. You were with Matt's Raider and all them man there. But listen, you're getting it. You know what? I don't even think you're at King's Landing. No, I'm gonna put you at the Twins. If you watch Game of Thrones,
Twins.
You're at the Twins, yeah. So that's where you are right now. So fair enough, keep up. I actually did watch. I watched the game up until the Arsenal goal. So after the Arsenal goal, I stopped watching, but not on purpose. I had stuff to do. But yeah, man, Arsenal were really good. Chelsea were bad, and I know we'll talk about Chelsea being bad, but I just thought Arsenal defensively was ridiculous, man. Like Saliba is mental, man, absolutely mental. Like Havertz, you know what I think of Havertz. I'm gonna talk on Havertz after when we get on Chelsea, but yeah, man, they just gave him no change. Like the defense snuffed that Chelsea attack. Sterling kept quiet. He was poor. Aubameyang, you know what he's about. If he's not getting chances, he's not going to be in the game. I felt Gabriel and Saliba as a partnership, they just, when they're on it, like they're imperious, man. And I think Ben White at right back as well, like he was just continued what's been a fantastic season for him, to be honest. Partey in midfield was quality. I found it really interesting as well. Like Chelsea were trying to pack out the midfield, yet Arsenal found it so easy to play through the lines. Partey was ridiculous, like winning every single duel, like just slicing Chelsea with these passes, 2, 3, 4 passes in at Chelsea's defense. Yeah, man, it was a very, very uncomfortable game for Chelsea. They were terrible, but I think Arsenal have a big say to say. Arsenal have a big part to play in Chelsea's poor performance.
And I don't think it was the best performance from Arsenal either. We played good, we played better for sure, but in the final thirds, especially at first half, I think Havertz a couple of times got into our box, and if he had looked up, it would have caused problems. But with us, we struggled in the final third. We had that Martinelli ball to Jesus, and really he should have done better with that. I know he said it was a bit whipped in, but it is what it is. We won the game.
He's got to score that. Let's be real. He's got to score that.
I get you.
I've seen Arsenal play better than me, but I think for me, Chelsea made it a bad spectacle, man. No, listen, Matisse, your team is bad, you know. And when I say that, yeah,
thanks.
Like,
really?
I grew up
on.
No, yeah, you didn't know, yeah. But I'm gonna say, like, I grew up on Ballack, Lampard, and I'm seeing Conor Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Like, I'm sorry, man, this Chelsea team, when you look at certain stages of the area, they've got quality, but bro, they are bad, man. Like Graham Potter's got a big job on his hands. He's got to take out all of his deadwood. Havertz, I'm sorry, ain't good enough, mate. Most of them ain't good enough. Aubameyang, honestly, yeah, I was rooting for the guy. I was rooting for the brother. Me and Toby stuck our neck on the line, and this brother stank the place out, mate. But I'm telling you, this Chelsea team is poor, mate. Poor. And
you see why
it's a big job in his hands.
You know what? Yeah, and I actually agree. I think we've seen Arsenal play better, but Arsenal was still good on the day. And what was mad is that wasn't even the best Arsenal performance we've seen this season. And they were playing away from home at Stamford Bridge, and a 1-0 loss flat at Chelsea. That should have been at least 2-0. Let's be real. Chelsea had 5 attempts at home. we've had pelters all season. Spurs have had pelters all season when it comes to the brand of football. What kind of performance is that at home? 5 attempts, 1 on target at home to Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think we're
all over the shop from Potter as well. Go on. Sorry.
I think we're underplaying the performance from Arsenal. I think we are. First and foremost, we've got to give credit to Arsenal because at the end of the day, it is a London derby. It's away from home. Both teams were up for it. There was animosity built up behind the scenes with the Aubameyang and whatnot.
No, there's only one team up for it, bro. Not both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your team played like your manager's appearing right now. Your team played like your manager's appearing right now. It's like they don't belong here. Your manager's like, known like all dressed up and all. He just doesn't feel right at the moment. I'm a huge Potter fan. I know I got you hyped, and you're trying to insinuate that I overhyped him. Is that what you're trying to say?
What, Aubameyang?
Potter.
That's what I said, Aubameyang, not Potter.
Oh, no, forget about Aubameyang. Yeah,
Aubameyang was going to do well, bro. I'm bloody hell.
Yeah, we'll get onto Aubameyang. We'll get onto Aubameyang. But Graham Potter, I'm a massive advocate of his, right? And I said, give him time. Now, I had Chelsea people telling me, oh, we got, was it 7 clean sheets in a row or something? I can't remember the stats, but, in the first 10 games or something. But there comes a point where am I right, first and foremost, it's around 15, 20 games he's in charge of now?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
There has to be. And I've defended him, and now I'm going to a little bit roast him, if you don't mind, people. There has to be, after 15, 20 games of taking a group of quality players. I don't care what we say about them, what we think about them as individuals, but they're a good set of players in that team, right? With notwithstanding, okay, they've got injuries. We all know injuries can hamper a team. But I'm with SAEED after a long time. I'm with you, SAEED. When SAEED says, bro, or was it Toby that just said it? The style of play, there is no identity after 15, 20 games. Even if they lost by playing the certain way with a certain formation. I said earlier on, he needs to find his formation. He needs to find his players. It'll take time. But after 15, 20 games, you have to have some form of plan and idea. They didn't have any clue how to tackle Arsenal. And that was the worst and probably the most frustrating part for you as a Chelsea fan. It was so clueless, the performance. It was unreal. Terrible. Even if you showed heart and grit, you could have said that. Honestly, it was a shambolic performance. But I think Arsenal were very, very good value. That was a dominating performance from Arsenal.
That's the thing. They showed no heart and they showed no grit in your own stadium in front of your own fans. When your London rivals come to the ground, you have to show bottle. If you think you're inferior on paper or Arsenal have all the feel-good factor and the momentum, in your own ground, you have to show bottle. And I'm seeing Saliba and Thiago Silva particularly. I was looking at them, and Cucurella, I want to get onto him as well in a second. They were afraid at times. It looked to me like they were afraid. When you had, I don't know if you guys remember the point where Jesus was dancing past 3 and 4 lads in the box at times, and they're standing off him. Yeah. They're going, what do we do? That doesn't look like Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea defense, who are usually very compact, and it looks nothing like a Graham Potter's Brighton defense, who are always very compact.
But this is my point. But that's my point, Hugh. You're spot on. You're spot on. But this is my point, that even if he knew that his team's not ready to go toe-to-toe with them, then have a game plan in mind that will suffocate. You've seen Arsenal play. Everyone's seen Arsenal play. Have a game plan that's going to try and nullify them. They just let them do what they want at their own ground and then just dance around them. And that was shocking to see.
I think Arsenal will look back on that and say, where this, like, obviously fantastic 3 points, massive in terms of building momentum and moving forward. But they'll look back and say, we should have hit them for 3 or 4. That should have been an absolute statement win, 3 or 4. I heard the commentators say, I don't know, did you guys watch it with commentary, but they alluded to Haaland and Jesus, because, Jesus went one way, we got on Haaland. The header that they missed, they say Haaland scores that. You have to think that if Arsenal did have a slightly more clinical striker, I understand what Jesus is bringing to the team, relentless energy. He's putting the fear of God into those defenders, but a slightly more, clinical finisher, it is a 3 or 4-0 win. And that's something that Chelsea should feel they got off lightly with.
I don't even think it was just Jesus as well, because Odegaard missed one as well. Yeah, there was a header. I can't remember who it was. The header, I think it was Thomas Partey that got in the way of Martinelli. So there were chances for Arsenal to basically make this scoreline embarrassing for Chelsea. But I think when we talk about like heart and grit, like those are the intangibles. Like when you have a London derby at home, you have to bring the tangibles and the intangibles. They didn't bring the intangibles. And when you talk about the tangibles, the actual setup, again, I have to lament the midfield again. Like it felt like Graham Potter basically said, you know what, we're going to surrender possession to Arsenal and we're going to try and play on the break. But I was saying this to Matisse earlier on. You're trying to play direct, trying to go long, and your outlets are Raheem Sterling, Aubameyang, and Kai Havertz. Which one of these three players is meant to hold up the ball, bring it down, bring other people into play, and keep it whilst Chelsea get bodies into the box? Sterling is not good at that. Aubameyang damn sure isn't good at that, and Havertz average at best at that. And he got put in a muzzle. In the midfield again, Mason Mount doing this roadrunner tactic. I think Graham Potter trying to flood the midfield, trying to close off the gaps. They weren't doing their job well enough because Arsenal kept finding gaps in between the lines time and time again. 3-4 passes, they're in at Chelsea's defense. On the right-hand side, Cucurella, I lost count of the amount of times he fouled Bukayo Saka. I lost count. Just fouling him because he couldn't stop. When Bukayo Saka tries to go on the outside, fouls him. When they go on the left-hand side as well, they can't stop the traffic. It was just no plan to deal with Arsenal offensively or defensively. Like, it was just a mess. And I sort of sympathize with Graham Potter to a certain extent because Chelsea are suffering with injuries. Like, Reece James is a massive injury for Chelsea. That is the key blow for Chelsea. He's their creative hub. And when he's out of the team, the drop-off in quality is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Koulibaly, I don't think he was fit enough to start the game. Obviously, Fofana's injured and so on and so forth. Kovacic wasn't fit enough to start the game. But you just think a squad that has been as expensively assembled as that squad in a game of this magnitude, off the back of 3 other matches that you haven't won in the league, you expected a better performance. And I remember a couple of weeks back when after Chelsea had beaten Wolves and they beat whatever the name was, and remember we were talking about Graham Potter, he's transformed the attackers. Based off what? And I said this back then, based off what? Give the guy time. They're playing a managerless Wolves. Give the guy time. Like, these attackers, people trying to undermine Thomas Tuchel's work at Chelsea. Like, lo and behold, you're seeing it right in front of you. The personnel are still struggling. The only difference now is they don't have a manager who's settled in his philosophy. So the performances are going to be even more haphazard.
Yeah, that point there where you made there, though, having Reece James as your kind of sole creator. Obviously, Sterling can create as well, but he, again, it's not working in the system. But for me, Chelsea to have one sole creator in Reece James at the football club, it is a worry. You know what I mean? And whether what they spend in January, obviously, Todd Bowley will spend money. But I just look at that team and I look at the quality. Ruben Loftus-Cheek in 2022. Conor Gallagher, is he really Chelsea quality? Let's be real. Like, there's a lot of players in that team, I think, are they really Chelsea quality? Cucurella as well, 60 million. Listen, we have to give him time, but right now, mate, listen, he's getting cooked every week.
What? He's been in the league, man. What does he want?
But I'm saying time to bed into the Chelsea system and whatnot. You're gonna give him a year to kind of prove his worth. But he gets cooked every week. Last week it was Sonny Marsh. Now it's bloody Saka. Who's it next week?
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that and saying, listen, we want to Cucurella last summer. Brighton said, what was it? Give us 62 or 63 minutes.
What are you going to say now, Hugh?
I'm saying we dodged the bullet. I'm saying we dodged the bullet.
He loves that word.
Well, I've never said that before, first of all, but I'm looking at that guy, and you're right. Every single week he's getting roasted. He doesn't look like the Cucurella we saw at Brighton. And you would have thought when Graham Potter came in, being his former manager at Brighton, it would give him a lift, and he started to play with that confidence again. He started to look good. I mean, that goal that Arsenal scored epitomised how poor Cucurella's been this season. He's clinching onto, it was Xhaka, wasn't it? Like he's a scared child holding on to his father. He's saying, I don't know what to do here, Dad. Help me out here. And the ball dances through 6 Arsenal or Chelsea players and ends up in the back of the net. I mean, I don't know who your set piece coach is there. But the thing is that the probably most frustrating part for Chelsea is they could have nicked a draw. They actually could have nicked a draw if that defensive blunder from the corner wasn't so bad. If they weren't so bad, poorly organised there. Because Arsenal were creating the chances. Like we said, it could have been a 3 or 4-0. We spoke about the various chances that they probably should have scored, but they didn't score them. Chelsea, defensively, the setup there was awful. How it got all the way through to Gabriel to stab at home, I honestly don't know.
Silva was like a one-man army back there at times.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, Aspilicueta actually did all right against.
He did
all right still. So I think.
Yeah, but this is the fuckery thing. This is the thing, though. This is the thing. Aspilicueta is the one. I'm sorry, Matisse. I'm sorry. Aspilicueta is the one they all wanted. And I need to. Aspilicueta is the one they all wanted out, including my brother Matisse. And he's the only one. And he's the only one showing fight. See, this is what I'm saying. This new age fan. I can't stand this new age fan. Not you. Okay, maybe you. I can stand you. I can stand you.
Like, hold on a second.
Let me finish it.
Hold on a second. I know you.
I said sorry, innit? I said sorry.
No, you've apologized, but you still.
But I need to finish it. What I'm apologizing for.
So your apologies not accepted.
No,
right?
but I haven't finished. I haven't finished offending you.
No. More than you can believe now, I'm going to talk. Because
let me finish offending you.
We've all spoken.
Matisse, before you talk, can I tell you the name that I've dubbed?
No.
Can I tell you Kukure's
I said, yo,
let GRIZZ land, man. Let GRIZZ land.
Yeah, I'm just saying, innit? Like Aspilicueta, right? Everyone just talks about, oh, we wanted this one. Aspilicueta was the only one. Turkish is spot on. Aspilicueta is the only one who showed fire, desire, spirit, and he was up against Martinelli and the man on that side. And who was the other left? Who's the left back was playing? Tierney, was it? Zinchenko.
Tierney came on and
bro, he's the only one who knew what that meant out there. Only one. No one else knew what that meant. And this is the name on their lips that they wanted out. This kind of mentality needs to stop from Chelsea fans.
Listen. Stop this nonsense, right?
I knew you was going to do that.
I've watched Aspilicueta for the best part of my whole life, right? And he has, in this game, been very, very much better than I thought he was. But I don't want to just fight against Arsenal. I want to beat them on a technical standpoint as well. And he is not technically good enough to play at right back consistently week in, week out with an injury-prone Reece James. So he might have showed fight because he's captain, which is the bare minimum. So let's not praise somebody for fighting in a London derby. Let's actually cuss everybody who didn't and leave it at that. Because if you don't come to a London derby and fight, then God help you, seriously. Because that's the bare
I want to
minimum.
hear you cuss out every
I will. When I get my chance to speak. Yeah. And the reason why I saw a couple of people were like, oh, why are you not saying anything? Why are you not defending the team? Because they didn't show any desire. They didn't show any fight. They didn't turn up to the plate. They didn't come to the stadium with the right attitude, with the right mentality, with the right conviction. So why am I going to fight? Why am I going to sit here? I'm not taking this personally. Aubameyang didn't take it personally. Why am I going to take it personally? You guys are just ripping into it. I don't need to I'm not taking this personally. Let you talk. I'm not affected by this because you're saying all the things that I wanted to say. This team, and I know you spoke on Gallagher, SAEED, but there were many players in that Arsenal team that are young and developing. So I don't think that's fair to say that he's, listen, I have just as much, question marks about whether his potential is really that high, but let him get his time to improve as a 21-year-old and let's see. My biggest issue is, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He was dreadful. What positive impact did he have in this game? Nothing. He's 26, 7, 8. I don't know. He's not Lingard. These certain players, we still call them young. These certain players never age with time. They just, maybe the skincare. Let me finish. Maybe the skincare routine is that strong, that we just never age these players. But they are getting older and they're not producing. And I know he's a squad player, and you're right. We did have injuries. There's no Kante, there's no Kova, there's no James. And these guys maybe would have shown fight and had energy. But even tactically, Potter, if you're going to have Zinchenko tucking in as a midfielder in a double pivot with Partey and then the back three, it was basically Gabriel, Ben White, Saliba, back three in possession. Zinchenko tucks in, and that's your build-up with 5. Then where's Gallagher to start? If you're going to sacrifice possession because we're not technically good enough to beat Arsenal, cool. But if you want to show that fight that you're talking about, that off-the-ball movement and that off-the-ball instincts to stop Partey having all the time and space in the world, then you need a Gallagher probably on that right wing where you played him against Wolves to tuck in with Mason Mount and double up on Zinchenko and with Partey to stop them having time on the ball. The whole issue in this game is that with Arsenal had too much time on the ball. They were able to just Saliba step into midfield, Partey pick his head up. If you're going to be shit technically and not match a team and you're not going to have possession and all these things, then you have to show fight. But you can't just fight with no brain. You have to have understanding of what you need to do. And that means you need to take up certain positions. And we didn't have players that were capable of doing that. We know that Kai is pretty lightweight. He was only able to get past Saliba one time. And that one time, he still only got a corner out of it because Saliba caught his ass and bodied him. And Saliba bullied us. Gabriel bullied us for the corner. Ben White, Party. This was like watching when we used to watch Turkish Porno many times at the Emirates or at Stamford Bridge. Drogba, Cahill, Alex, Terry, Ivanovic, Ballack, Essien. I can keep going. Look how many soldiers. Look how many soldiers.
This is what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
now,
that's what I'm trying to say.
It's the other way around, bro. Now it's the other way around. We're getting bullied at home. And this is why
it's not Chelsea, man.
This is why I didn't sit here and interrupt you guys, because I can't defend the undefendable.
Yeah, of course.
I can't defend people who don't want to defend themselves. They went out there and they just let it rip. They just let everything just slide. It was like they were playing a pre-season friendly. It was embarrassing.
Can I just say,
Ramsdale didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
You know,
like 1 sec.
You know, can I just say quickly?
You go first.
Yeah. So I just want to say as well, even the stadium atmosphere, man. Like, I know it's not the greatest atmosphere at Chelsea ground, but even like normally you kind of feel like with the new manager, you get that feeling, you know, Arsenal, big game. It's flat as hell, man. And I'm just like, you know, get with the crowd, get with the team and that. But I think the players are not giving the fans to anything to believe in. And that's the situation. And it was the same against Man United. We rolled you over that first half. We didn't take our chances.
But you know, the thing is, but this is why when you said, you know, when you said a couple games in, you was like, "Oh, see, why couldn't Tuchel do this? Look at Potter." I said, "Listen," and Toby said it as well. I know, but this is what Toby was getting at. This is what Toby was getting at. We have not played anybody serious in the Premier League yet, and now we're seeing Man United and Arsenal. It's not that easy to just say, "Oh, it's all the manager's fault." And this is what Chelsea love to do. It's all the manager's fault. Very clearly, it's not easy to get these guys playing the attractive brand of football. Maybe fundamentally, there's some issues in the team, like central midfield or right back. Like I said, with Azpilicueta, on most days, you're not able to create chances from that side consistently or be expansive in your build-up. Whatever it may be, it's going to take time to fix, and it's going to take more than just splashing money. You need to actually go and get the right profiles. You need to go and make sure you actually scout correctly. But my thing is that tactics go out the window when your team come and play like that with no passion, no desire. No, I know it's buzzwords, but I am an emotional fan as much as an analytical. You know, I want to see that these guys care. And when you have an ad says nothing personal, an Arsenal tattoo, and you like Troops' post, I'm sorry, big man, that can't run. And GRIZZ, I told you about this, bruh. This is mercenary behavior. This is mercenary behavior.
Thank you. What did I say last week?
I will not stand for it, bro. My club is not gonna have no banter era. I'm not doing it. You see how this little banner era club thing that you man run with on the show before with all them years? I'm not on it. I will leave the show. I'm not on it. I'm not taking this shit, bro. I will just leave. I'll just go back. I'll go back and work on normal. I'm not doing it.
You will do it. Chelsea will fall.
I will leave.
Chelsea will fall.
I will leave.
You will fall.
I will leave today. I'm not.
Chelsea will fall.
Nobody.
You're entering your
Don't go anywhere,
bro. I will not.
Don't go anywhere. You will join.
I will go somewhere. I will go anywhere.
You are not going anywhere. You're staying right
anywhere.
You are not. You're staying here.
Listen,
Todd
bro.
Bowley is here to revolutionize the soccer game. He's here to revolutionize the soccer game. Is here.
The Cowboys, they're here to stay.
They're here to stay, man.
Listen, you man will have to listen, Tobes. You man will have to find someone else, because I weren't built with this shit, bro.
You are built.
You see when Toby said you were born in the mud. Yeah, I wasn't born in the mud, bro. I'm a very.
Yes, you're right.
Strap up, Matisse.
I'm spoiled, bro.
Get your jacket on.
I'm spoiled.
Get ready. It's cold out there.
But listen.
Matisse.
Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, that was ridiculous, bro. You can't do that. Like, seriously, now you can't do that. Like, you're 33 years old. You have to have a brain. You have a stinker, right? And it's not even all your fault. You didn't get any service, but you were poor. Jesus doesn't score. Jesus is not making people getting involved in general play, pressing from the front. You don't score. You have 8 touches. You're not able to help us off the ball. You can't drop deep. You can't create. You can't hold the ball up. So there's a big difference between a striker that I wanted that doesn't score, yeah, the guy that I wanted, and the guy that comes in. But that's a different conversation. My brother, if you have to at least pretend like you care that you lost against Arsenal at home. If you're wearing a Chelsea shirt with my crest on your chest, bro, you have to fake it till you make it. Because you cannot pretend, you cannot for any second come away from a game like that and it not hurt you. Because if it don't hurt, bro, you can't do this, bro. You got to walk out. I'm sorry, you got to leave. You can't be doing this.
In defense of Aubameyang, though, he was never that guy, though, was he? He was never that guy to drop the.
I can't do it, bro. But I can't take unserious players at my club. I'm not doing
But
this.
if he's not that guy, Hughie, if he's not that guy, what he's done in the last week or so, whatever, has made him look like a dickhead in both Chelsea's eyes, fans' eyes, and Arsenal fans' eyes.
He done the last week. Was the ad only aired the last week?
Yeah, literally for social media clout.
Right.
That's what he's done it for. And this is why I said he's a dickhead from day.
BT got him.
It's promo.
Bro, he can say no. I don't. Look, every company, bro, everyone can say no. No, mate, are you taking the piss? I ain't doing that.
Ain't that deep.
Okay, yeah.
For me, we're talking.
No, you're still saying ain't that deep. You're not that deep.
It's not that deep because we're
I don't think it's
you're
that deep.
You're an enabler. You're an enabler.
Call me an enabler. I don't care. It's promo. I don't care.
I know you don't care. I know you don't care.
We're focusing on the wrong things. So what if he did the promo? He gets egg on his face.
No, it's a side issue. I'm focusing on the wrong things right now.
Let's talk about the performances because, like I said, Aubameyang is a striker who relies on service, and this is the team that bought Aubameyang in and did not deliver the service, so he didn't get any.
Whose fault is that, Toby?
No.
You have to look at the creative players, the likes of Sterling and Mount. And these
that's what I was going to come on.
It's on them to give. You're not bringing in. What is he? 33 years old? Is he 33? Yeah. Yeah. You're not bringing in 33 years old Aubameyang and expecting what Jesus does. Relentless running, relentless pressure. This guy stands there, waits for it on a plate, and he is very good. He probably will finish it. You have to look at the creative players like Sterling, who simply were brought in to be creative. Cheek we've spoke about. It's like it's not solely on Aubameyang. I get the whole thing. He's made himself look like a dickhead in some people's eyes in the past week, but it's a whole team issue. It's not just Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from the weekend.
This is why.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm not even looking
let's
at
get into it, right? This is why.
Talk about Kai as well.
I'm going to get into it, bro. I'm going to get.
No. I want you to call him.
We're going to talk about Kai. We're going to talk about Kai.
I'm tired of this. I want you to say on record,
listen,
because this is Lampard, this is Thomas Tuchel, and now this is Graham Potter. How many times am I going to have to see this guy stink out the joint before Chelsea fans accept that he is not who you think he is? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Listen, Raheem Sterling has only been there 3 months. He was crap. Don't get it twisted. He was rubbish, and he's been poor in recent weeks, and he'll get his criticism. But this guy is in year 3 of this project, and I'm still waiting. Yesterday, 2 opportunities on the right-hand side for someone who's so intelligent. He makes the right decision in the final third. The easiest square pass to Aubameyang, and it's a tap-in, and he completely flashes it wide. There's another one as well. I'm just thinking to yourself, like, who is this guy? Because everything I've heard about this guy the last 3 years, I don't see it on the football pitch.
I said this, Tobes. I said this when he signed for Chelsea. I said, don't expect it from him. Don't expect it from him. He's not that guy. He was when he was younger. He was great, but he's now similar to Aubameyang in the sense that he needs it on a plate, and there's still no guarantee he'll score. There's still no guarantee.
And the thing, no. You see, when we talk about Tottenham, I hope he has as many words as he has for my team.
I will. Trust me, I will.
He's talking so much. I can't even talk. I want to cuss him, and you're cussing him for me.
No.
What do you want me to do? You're not going to repeat everything you just said.
You're not going to cuss him. You're not going to cuss him.
How would I not cuss him?
I've been telling you this for 2 years.
What have I been saying for the last year?
No. Talk to me.
What about, bro? I said this is make or break season. What do you think that means, bro? What do you think make or break? What do you think make or break? What do you think make or?
So how it's gonna have 3 seasons? Sancho can have 3 now, isn't it?
Bro, that's up to you, innit? That's your standards, not mine. But bro, I said it make or break season. That means this season you have to step up to the plate and be a talisman. You have to be a key player. That's what you were bought for. It's the same standards I held with Kepa when he became a second choice goalkeeper. We didn't purchase you to do that. I don't ask the CEO to take out the bins. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever you're paid to do, whatever you're purchased to do, that's the job you do. If you can't do that job, then there's something wrong. We have to talk about it. When it comes down to Kai Havertz, he's not looking like a Premier League player because he's not looking strong enough. I've spoken about this weeks ago, not trapping the ball properly when he receives it in the 10. If you're going to receive the ball in the half space in the Premier League up against strong DMs, and tough centre-backs, you have to be able to shield the ball. You have to be able to use your size to your advantage. You'll be able to shrug off challenges and be strong. Look at Bernardo Silva. Look at Eden Hazard when he was here. Players that are small, petite, but they're still able to get amongst it and shield the ball. So that part of his game is a big problem. And of course, the output is not strong enough. But I've said it already. I expected Young Player of the Year or that type of level. I expected those conversations. I said it last year, and I mean it even more this year. If we don't get that, then make or break means leave in the summer, 100%. Because why are we wasting our time? If the bid comes in from Bayern Munich, you take it. I've already said this. But also, Mason Mount was poor. Sterling was poor. So I don't want to make it about one player because
you're right.
These guys were all poor. Loftus-Cheek was poor. You know, Cucurella was poor. Aubameyang was poor. Everybody was poor. So I don't have time because there's 2 other games with 2 other L's. So we ain't gonna do that.
Now we needed 1 hour for this one. This is a special one.
That's what we ain't gonna do. Is what we ain't gonna do is
we spent an hour.
We're gonna make sure that we don't speak about your L's. So that's why
we are gonna speak about L's.
I'm very
we are, but
I'm conscious of time. I'm conscious of time. So I'm not gonna get into every.
How about that?
We don't have time.
No, I think
we don't. I'm not gonna get into every single player that
You're
plays
upset,
for me.
Matisse. I
But
understand.
No. Saeed, don't you go anywhere. You're trying to run the clock.
Don't go anywhere.
Listen, man. If Turkish allows this to happen, then it happens, innit? So let me get the green light from Turkish. Can
I say something? Can I? I'm gonna look. I said
I got super chats as well. There's a hell of a lot.
Listen,
I said you never walk alone to Matisse last week.
Everybody was dreadful. But
so I'm going to stand with Matisse. I'm going to stand with Matisse and say he's right because it was a big game, big team. It's not that much of a big disaster to lose to Arsenal right now. So it's cool.
It's the way
that's fine. Yeah, no, it was the manner and everything. Yeah, but we got
And
we got bigger fish.
There's
got bigger fish to talk about.
There's no conclusion here apart from certain
bigger
players.
fish. Yeah,
certain players that need.
You're not a fish, man. Are you a fish?
Let's talk. I'm not talking about you. I want to talk about.
I'm talking about the fish, man. I could talk about you as well. I'm talking about the fish over there.
Let's talk. We want to move
on. Top right.
The one thing I will say to conclude is that our banner era for me started at the weekend when Aubameyang and we got trolled and everything, and Arsenal fans are dancing on our head tops. For me, that is banner era vibes. So for that to end, it will rely on 2 things. It will rely on Potter being ruthless enough to get rid of players that need that. What's going on, bro? I swear to you, I actually was starting to think because it's been a long day for me. So I was starting. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I thought I was starting to lose it, mate.
Do you think Potter can be ruthless?
Just like you got to signal if you're going to do flashing for epilepsy. You got to warn me if you're going to do that because I was starting to bug out from. I thought I was going to lose it in there, man. I didn't know you was doing that. I thought I was hearing shit. What did you say about Potter? Because I know he's ready.
Can he be ruthless?
I hope so. So that's the point I was going to make before Turkish put me off. It's not about no processes and shit because we judge as we go along. For me, you can't come into this window and tell me we don't need a midfielder. That's going to be red flag. Yeah. So in the window, I need him to be ruthless enough and with the contract renewals to know that certain players need to go, certain legends, certain top players that have done a lot of things for the club, emotional, cool. Done that, get the players out that you need to get out and make sure that you address the critical areas that need to be addressed. And then he also, I know Cuddly in the public, he's saying they tried, they didn't try. It was nothing personal. As they say. So behind the scenes, I need him to be ruthless. Make sure that you're digging into them. Don't be too nice to the point where because your reputation isn't strong enough or you're coming from Brighton that you can't tell these men off. Please tell me that if there's an Amazon documentary that you're cussing them. Because one thing I will say on Arteta, and I said it on AFTV, yes, that clip that THUGGERY put together. Listen, if he wins the league or he does a madness, I'm going to have many apologies. Don't worry, many letters. But the one thing I did say about Arteta that I did praise him. And the start of the praise maybe was the Aubameyang because he was ruthless with it. And I said, you got to get rid of him because he's not being disciplined. He's not listening. He's being a joke. Now, funnily enough, here he is at my club. But he was ruthless enough to get rid of him and reshape. And people didn't like it. It was controversial, but he did it. So and Pep's done it with Joe Hart and Klopp. GRIZZ will say needs to do it more in their rebuild. So ruthless managers need to keep being ruthless, and I need Potter to show that as well. So hopefully he's ruthless, man.
It's too soon, man. That comes about a year or 2 into the process.
No. January, bro.
This is the problem with you Chelsea fans. Immediate, man. No, I'm joking. That's how I was as well. But you're gonna get your head around it soon enough, because as me and Saeed can tell you, when you're brought up with your team winning stuff, it's not easy to come to terms that your team's done out here.
I don't even mind. Listen, I do mind, but I can handle being done out here in terms of success and having to be patient. I'm not a fickle fan. I understand, but I can't deal with people not giving a shit on the pitch. That's that. Liking posts after and
That's
shit.
how I was like last year.
I'm not doing that.
You know,
Like,
got to
that's,
show a bit of
that's
pride.
disrespectful because that's not going to run. No, that's not. We're not doing that.
Are you getting less confident that you get top 4 now?
More than you can believe. Yeah. Yeah. Every day that goes past when I wake up and brush my teeth, I think to myself, "Rah, we might finish in the Europa League." And but SAEED does say it's a good competition. It's got some nice teams in it. So I might.
Listen,
SAEED said that it's a little bit of a sticky one. You know what I mean?
It's all right, man. I'm going New Cup in February. It's all right, you know.
There's not too much. There's some big teams in the Europa League. You never know.
Come on.
All right, listen, we're going to move on to super chats now because, like I said, I got a fair few. I'm going to go through the Arsenal, Chelsea related ones first, as usual, because there is some for others, and I'm going to save them ones for the conversation when we move on to those teams. Jason says, "Come on, you Gunners! I was so hyped this weekend. Just going to keep enjoying this as long as we can." And he also said, "I blame United's loss on HUGH. SAEED was right." And we are going to get onto that. I'm a United fan, absolutely hate the Gunners, but after the Chelsea game, I'll say, to quote my man 21, I can see the Gunners win the Premier League. If not, can see them push City all of the way. That's from AK Dash. Get TOBS smiling. What are you smiling about, bro?
No, because he's obviously referring to the Drake and 21 project. That came out.
Okay.
You would know that if you were.
I've listened to the album. We talking about
is it? Okay,
it's not all that. It's not all that.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I don't think it's as good as everyone.
Actually, I met 21's dad. I met 21's dad out in Orlando as well. Cool
really?
Guy. Cool guy. Cool guy.
Tell a lie, though, I've only listened to half of it, and it's all right. Like Drake is barring. 21 is a bit mid, though. I can't lie. A bit mid. He's got good one-liners, though. Good one-liners.
And yeah, Anthony says Arsenal fans and City fans are best friends. They're a friendly reminder. I'm glad Liverpool and also get knocked out in the Champions League. Sorry, like I said, I'm going to try to keep it to the ones that's Arsenal related, Arsenal Chelsea related. Big up, lads, the #1 show on YouTube. Turkish say it, we are in contention. If we aren't, and none of these below us obviously are, can City be crowned champions now? No. So Arsenal are back. God forbidden injuries. Big up, THUGGERY too. JJ, love as always. Like you said, those injuries, we just need to hope for the best. Don't let the nerd persona fool you thinking Matisse is a sensible youth. I remember when Lukaku transferred, he dropped a vid calling him the real R9.
That was just banter, man. You ain't never heard that. That was just banter. You can't be telling jokes now. What's going on?
He says London's Reds.
What was a humbler?
Obviously, like, you have to have banter along the way. Come on, don't be silly.
Yeah.
Where do you rank now?
Me and TOBS are probably answering this question end of the season, innit, TOBS? Yeah.
Man, F that guy, man. Honestly.
You know what it is?
The way you just said that.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I've seen Arsenal top of the league with Leicester in a title race, and it all come crumbling down. And I said to you last week, Turkish, Chelsea have been top of the league on this very day last season, and it came crumbling down under Tuchel and Lampard. So, as much as love and guidance, you've been brilliant, it's not over yet. And I'm not saying you're gonna fall. I'm just saying I've seen many fall. So let's just wait.
You think you're gonna finish above us?
No, I'm willing to concede now that you will finish ahead of us. That's the one thing. Yeah, that's so I will be doing revised Premier League predictions some point because I'm
willing to do that as well.
I did deep that. I did deep
Let's
it.
do it.
I did deep it, and that's why I was so angry, right? Because I did deep it on the weekend that you will finish ahead of us, and that's where I really hurt my heart. You know what I mean? That's that hurt. So yeah,
let's do revised Premier predictions.
We'll do that in it before the World Cup. Makes sense.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do
that.
Fuck all that. We're keeping the fucking same predictions. We didn't do that last
Yeah, that hit me.
Only two of us predicted Arsenal top 4, I think. It was only 2 of us. That's mad. Well, me and some people. Was it me and Hugh, I think?
Must be me.
I think I did, yeah.
Must be me, no?
Nah, GRIZZ, you gave up, mate. You gave up.
No.
That's what I'm saying. You gave up, GRIZZ, man. You're part-timer, man.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm joking. I'll have a look somewhere during the show.
Chelsea 5th, max. Yeah.
Probably 5th. Young Neo says Chelsea were the worst I've seen, and Arsenal won by a crappy corner mistake. Don't believe the hype. Obviously a Chelsea fan. Arteta has 5 outfield players above 6'1" in the team. Chelsea's threat was from set pieces, but Arsenal now have the set plays, attack and defense locked. In my opinion, this is proper squad building, says TNB. Love for the super chat. And you're right, we've got a lot of imposing players now in terms of height. 2 shots on goal, 1 goal scored via fluky corner, and apparently Arsenal battered us. Potter has had 12 games. We need to go through the pain to succeed like Arsenal. And JJ again said, Tobes, you're talking praise of Arsenal like an Arsenal fan. Find the right path, brother. I saw a comment earlier saying, is it Tobes or Tostin right now? Because I don't know who it is. Come on, you Gunners. We need to credit Arteta, Edu, and the players. What a turnaround. Partey, the best centre mid alongside Rodri. Tapping crazy Tobes. Stop hating. Turks, time for chest out. We're moving like a big club now. City are our rivals now. Let's look up, not down. Definitely performance levels on the pitch we're keeping up at the moment. But in January, we'll see once again what these owners are really about. Because in terms of the owners, listen, I put my hands up with Mikel. I had doubts about him. He's come full circle. And I've backed him for this whole season. And I backed him at points last season. But obviously, with the deflation at the end, not only losing that top 4, but Tottenham, sometimes it gets the better of you. When you love the club, your emotions and, you know, the surroundings, sometimes you lack foresight. But here we are. But the owners now, January, next summer, in my opinion, is back to square one. And square one is Champions League football. We should be getting it this season. I'm pretty confident we're going to get it this season. So that is where square one is for the owners. It's not for Mikel, not for Edu. Credit to them, man. Let's see what the owners are about. But yeah, that move from defense to attack, which ended in Jesus' missed header, was pure poetry. Probably the best attacking move this season to not end with a goal. Probably, Gareth. I can't lie. That was a sweet move. I think it started with, what was it, Ben White winning the ball or Saliba or something like that. But big up you as always. London is still red. Great performance from the lads. Toying with Chelsea, Saka, Saliba, and Gabby signed the ting now. Tobes, back off Turkish, not your levels. Mamadi says, I don't get this. SAEED, you're saying he needs to clear out the deadwood from the club. They bought Sterling, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Fofana, Oba, and Zakaria. Potter giving me hard vibes.
Can't be asked.
Potter is overrated because he's English. We ain't going nowhere with this team and manager. Nothing personal. Oba Wei Yang, the sterling is weaker than the US dollar. Tapping Tobes, listen and learn to the real top dogs. GRIZZ sang You'll Never Walk Alone last week, and Matisse sing a Red Hot Chili Peppers song this week. Nothing personal. What's that about?
So obviously, because my mind was so discombobulated today, I rose up late for the set, the filming of the review on DR. So as punishment, they gave me 3 chilies in a row to eat, rockets or something, and I ate all 3 of them. I'm not gonna lie, I just downed them. Because you know when your team play, like, I passed out on a podcast as well after the match. Like, I had a post pod and I passed out on it. Like, I must have been gone for like 10 minutes, and they were like, "Yo, calling my name." I was like, "What's going on?" And I looked and I was still recording. Luckily, it wasn't a visual, fam. That game,
out, bro, from chilies.
Huh? No, the passing out was on Sunday. And the chilies was today.
What were you passing out for?
Because I was tired, fam. I'm tired of the performance, bro. I'm tired.
He's not eating enough. Have you not seen his body?
Talking, bro.
Like 10 years, man.
Man, when you do it, man, I told you a whole watch along.
He's not eating enough, man. He's fainting.
Toby, stop that.
Yo.
Toby, stop that.
You're not ready for the struggle, man. Chelsea's gonna be, yeah, man.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you last week about me, Muscle Man?
First or second year as a banter club, this guy's passing.
Yeah, man.
What did I tell you, Muscle Man? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I can't eat and talk at the same time. I'm a content creator. Maybe you can eat at work. Actually, I know you can. What did I tell you about Muscle Man? When you get old, you're gonna get shrivelly up, and then just enjoy it while you can, man. Just enjoy your prime. You know what I'm saying? You can't bring them muscles. Can't bring them muscles when you're 70, bro. You're gonna be weak. That's when I'll catch you from when you're 70. I'm gonna fight you in the old people's home. I'll catch you from watch retirement.
PBG says the most impressive thing was the game management. Our ability to win smart fouls to break up play was brilliant. Haven't seen us do that since 2008. A long time. I have 3 key injuries. I Kante, James, and Chilwell. Even Tuchel could not have masked our weaknesses without them 3. The lads tried really hard and Arsenal deserved the win. Quote, like with Brighton, it feels like he's just happy he's got the job. His post-match interviews are jarring. Obviously,
at the moment. But I'm saying, like, it's my fucking manager. But I'm willing to give him time.
By the way, I didn't pass out. I fell asleep. That's what I meant.
I willing to give him time.
Yeah.
But Matisse is right. He needs to fix up his attitude. You can't be talking like that about Chelsea because Chelsea are used to winning. They're an entitled club. Sometimes wrongly.
A little bit of a David Moyes talk there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, they're like Matisse said, they're used to winning.
I'm not even saying that like, oh, go and get me the Prem, go get me the Champions League, but bro, like don't set up defensively at home to Man United. Like shit, you gotta win this game. You know what I mean?
Shit. Guys said everyone missed Aspi's knee in the back of Jesus, though. Dark arts in effect. I remember that. Big up Turkish and the panel right now. I'm believing, and I'm going to say it with chest. We, Arsenal, are going to avoid relegation and have a very good chance of making the Europa League. Big up Joshua. I didn't even see that one coming. Chelsea will fix our midfield in January and we'll be all right. You'll all eat your words, says Kwame. Yeah, we will see. Ali Gremlin saying Teta is like Ole Lampard. Same Gremlin looking quiet now. Brother, your club was born in 03 and died 22. You, man, go back to beef in Millwall like the good old days. London is red. Oba like Troops and Gabby's posts on Twitter. Don't let these men draw you out. We have a long way to go. And as we all know, football is a humbler. Let's see where we're at with 5 games to go before we talk the title.
Too late.
Again, give Gremlin a history book. His club been banter for the majority of its time. Matisse, you dined with Kings and soon you're going to be eating £2 deal at Sam's Chicken.
2 for 2. It's not even £2 anymore, is it?
No, man.
Inflation,
brother.
Wow. Need to get some of that Arab money in it, Grizz.
Yeah. He's got the shake ready, man. He's got the the robe ready.
Culture club, doing things the right way, club tax.
Interesting.
We're gonna talk about it.
Michelle says Turkish, my presenter. Remember, I told you I'd watched Saliba and said he was ready after the Nice loan. I do remember. Now, arguably one of the best centre backs in the Prem. I don't think it's arguable right now. This season, definitely one of the best centre backs. Havertz has scored more Champions League final goals than Spurs and Man City combined in their entire history. Blue Moon and Chicken Ball.
Chelsea fans are a disgrace sometimes, man. What the hell?
Said Mount is our talisman on AFTV. I genuinely thought all nerds were smart. I'm reporting Lampard to International Court of Justice for war crimes, introducing this disease.
All right, guys. It's a super fan debate. I have a job to do. All right, I have to stick up for the mandem, obviously, before the match. That's what happened, right? It's just where it is. It's a debate. I had to do it.
Why did Potter
I didn't catch that last bit.
Why Potter started Ruben Loftus-Cheek over Zakaria? Why play Cooley midweek in a dead game when we got Arsenal this weekend? Either go to back 4 or back 3. Get off the fence. Arsenal did their job. I'm so proud of the boys. Big up Ryan. You was at the game, innit? We take each game as it comes, but I do think we can win the league now, Turkish. But the City games are going to be vital. Saliba was man of the match and he bossed Oba. And it's not going to lie. Oh, wait. Not going to lie. It's great to see Turkish always smiling. Come on, my guy. I'm not even used to it on this YouTube world. I was smiling a lot when I was young, but not anymore. Turkish, should we go for the Carabao Cup and field a strong team midweek? No, we should not. We should change every single player. I don't want to see a first team player in there. I'd like to avoid the extra fixtures in January. I think there's 3 Carabao fixtures in January, as well as the 1 3 days after the World Cup final. I prefer not to really listen. It's the League Cup. I don't rate the League Cup, and this goes from way back in the day. Give that a chance to the youngsters, and the youngsters like that as well. And everyone's about the youngsters now. Everyone. So that's an avenue for them. The League Cup. Just let them play it. It's Brighton. It's going to be tough. If we do play youngsters, they will probably win. But in my opinion, this season we need to focus on securing Champions League football, bare minimum. Aside from that, I think that's all of the Chelsea Arsenal chat in. Rodri is not better than Partey, asked Simeone. And as Matisse recovered from the chillies this morning, and we just mentioned that as well. Let's move. Where are we moving on to? The intro had SAEED out here, obviously losing 3-1 to Aston Villa. Obviously, the
big FSG news, man. We need to discuss Grizz's happiness. You know what I mean? Toby, come on, man. There's a lot to dissect in this one, isn't it? Go on, Grizz.
So what are we starting with? FSG or the game? Which one do you want to start with?
No, I think the game, the FSG news is just fresh, innit? Let me chat to my sources. Let me go to the bank. Yeah. Let me put up the prices.
Yeah.
You know, let me see if I can raise a little billion. And then we could talk FSG. Let's talk about the game. I think that's more relevant right now instead of speculation. But okay, if you want me to touch upon the FSG business, yes, FSG have worded it smartly, but we're up for sale. They're saying looking for investment or possible outright sale, but it's for sale. Let me tell you guys that for a fact, which is mixed news. Is excitement, is apprehension, is fear, it's nervousness, everything, because we don't know what kind of owners come in. You know what I mean? So
it's shamelessness, Grizz. That's what it is. It's absolute shamelessness to the highest order. The club that does things right.
Hold on. Let me.
Liverpool fans
be careful.
Begging for a sheik to come in. When they didn't know who you were,
be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. So go and speak, but be careful what you say, and don't base it on Twitter. Base on what I say. So you're talking to me here. So tell me what's shameless about what I've just said.
No, not you. No, listen. If you think I'm talking about you, my apologies. I'm talking about a wider Liberal fan base that I've seen on Twitter.
Okay, fair enough.
The things that are saying like, oh, we've done things, we've won it all the right way for X and Y amount of years, and now give us that dirty oil money, that kind of stuff. I just find it a little bit ironic. I mean, whenever we were beating you by 1 point for the league and over those years, oh, you know, they cheat their way, you know, financial fair play and you know, all the human rights issues. I won't go into all them. You know, you point all that on us. And Newcastle, once again, Grizz, I hope you don't think I'm talking to you right here. I'm talking to the fans I see online.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, fuck it.
All teams.
Yeah, now they're saying, fuck it.
General fan bases of all teams will always look at bitterness. And I often used to have this conversation with Steve, and I said, it's come from a place of bitterness and sweet jealousy. I said it to many times on Steve, on the Big Six, all these are witness, that if I had it, I wouldn't grumble, I wouldn't moan. Say, do it, bro. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do to win, to become big, to do what you want. There is no... I've never spoken about the morality argument on any stream, on any tweet or anything. Never on record. Never. So people can't say that for me. What kind of owners we want or have or will get, we don't know. First and foremost, we don't know. So that's why I said we can only speak on that once something's happened. This is just speculation. Who's going to come in? What kind of owners are going to come in? Which country, which continent, which religion? All of these things are unfortunately going to be brought up by the media. And listen to this, rightly so. I'm saying rightly so. They have to be brought up. But in the cold light of day, I've always been I have always been neutral in that sense, because we don't know. We don't know what these people are. It's a deep, deep subject, which I'm not qualified to speak on. So yeah. 100%. Once we get established of who Liverpool owners are, whatever, then we can interrogate, then we can ask questions, then we can debate. At the moment, I think it's pointless because we don't know what's going on, who's coming in. It could be Norwegian consortium for all I know. Or
I think there's a high possibility it'll be someone from the Middle East, because there's been a number of sheiks and businessmen and consortiums in the past have shown interest in Liverpool. Am I wrong in saying that?
I know of three major. I know three major interested parties that are not Arab. Three major interested parties. Yeah, exactly.
But the Americans will definitely be interested in this. 100%.
Some big. All I know is going to be big boys, because no one's going to come in and spend up to 4 billion on a club, looking to make money on top of that as well. You got to remember, Man City were bought for how much? Huey, roughly.
It wasn't much of in the end.
Yeah, like Chelsea. Yeah, Liverpool were bought for 300 million. City were 400 million. All of our clubs were bought for cheap.
I think we were about 250. I could be slightly off on that. It wasn't much.
Yeah, Liverpool were bought for 300 million. Now we're worth 3.5 billion according to Forbes. So these brothers they've accepted that they can't compete, which is quite a good thing. They've said we can't fuck with this, man. So we're looking to duck out. They've made their money. They've made us successful. They've made hella mistakes. So that's normal businessman. When you think you've maxed your potential, you take your money and go. Now, as I said, I don't know who's coming in. That's why I'm saying I'm nervous. I'm excited. All of that. It's
exciting times, though. More than anything, it's exciting. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm quite jealous. When I heard the story, I was like, "Damn, man,
same.
Could have been us."
Same. I can't lie.
Yeah, but that's my point in it. Because that's what I'm saying. But when we have owners like this, it's very easy to turn a blind eye and say, "Yeah." But when it's others owners, you start criticizing and you start looking at their morals. I've never looked at the morals. And Steve, big up Steve in the chat. Steve knows as well. I said I would never, ever, if I had it, and he knows this, I'll go, if I had them owners, I would say, yeah, bro, what you got for me? We're rolling in it. Flaunt it. If you got it, flaunt it. It's your luck. Deal with it. But what I've always said is accept it though. Like, don't deny it. That's what I used to say. Remember, guys, I said, don't deny it. Like, say, yeah, man, that's us. What? And that's it.
Can I just ask, with Liverpool being a club that does pride itself so much on its, the way it runs, the ethos, the whole thing, do you fear, I'm not saying whether it's Middle East, American or Norwegian, you said anyway, do you not fear that maybe a new ownership might change or alter the ethos of the club?
Yes.
Is that not something that scares you? Because it is obviously
100%.
a massive pride of Liverpool.
100%. But I think it's a gradual acceptance that all, especially football, but all major sports at the highest level will be owned by billionaires and consortiums and states. It's just the way it is. Look at all the top level sporting institutions. It's the way of the wicked world it's going towards. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I don't know the ins and outs, but I'm just giving you a statement fact. Football, the major, big clubs are either owned by states or, whatever you want to call them, oligarchs or whatever. And it's going to be further. It's going to get more. You're going to see soon, like the top 10 teams in all the leagues owned by big institutions like this. Yeah, capitalism, as someone says.
They got Big Steve as well in the chat. Shake and back is coming, GRIZZ, to bring the freshness back. Steve, it's been a little while, man. 100%. We're linking up in I was about to say in November. We are in November. We're going to do some content, and we're going to the Football Content Awards next week. So hopefully, we bring home the W, bring home the gold. It's me, Hugh, SAEED, and GRIZZ and Big Steve going. TOBS and Matisse can't make it, but like I said, hopefully we get the W for all of us. And THUGGEry as well. To be honest, I need to invite you. Let me message you after this and see if you want to come. If you want to come, I'll sort your ticket out. All right, but we move people. Well, I was going to move to Villa, but you men are saying Tottenham, Liverpool.
You might as well. Look, it's a good game. Look, me and Toby knew it's going to be a tight game. We knew it's going to be a game of first goal. Whoever scores first is going to win. I said first goal wins, but I said, whoever scores first is going to win. They had injuries. They were going to play like that. I thought it was one of our better performances in the first half, but then it was our second half performance that showed the state we're in overall. We got tired. They overpowered us. In the end, we were lucky to get away with a win. But my God, at this stage of the season, I couldn't give a shit. I said it. I couldn't give a shit. That was a 6-pointer against a rival top 4 who was ahead of us. We had to get 3 points. I couldn't care how we got it. And in the end, we got the 3 points and we duck out of there. Good points, bad points. Good points, Ibrahima Konaté, my brother. Wow, what a centre-back this guy is. Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez showed glimpses of what I think potentially will be lethal going forward for years to come. Darwin Núñez played left wing and just in that first half an hour was just terrorising. Who's your right back or right side?
Emerson.
Royale and whatever. Yeah. We would. Our plan was to just switch. Trent's passing was sublime. His first time switches of play were like, yeah, this is what Trent we know. Defensively and positionally, he's still flawed. He's still shaky in the head. I don't know what's wrong with him. But on the ball, this is what he brought for. The switch out to Núñez was working a treat. Mohamed Salah's 2 finishes were crisp finishes, deadly finishes. The rest, Robertson was good. So in that first half performance, I thought we were very good. Second half, they overpowered us. And as I said on my stream as well, we're not playing a bunch of bozos. They're third. They've won their group. Regardless of their last couple of performances, Antonio Conte is still their coach. Antonio Conte, I've said it, even though we took the piss, Antonio Conte is a top coach. Whatever he said to them at halftime, tactically or motivationally, it worked. And we were going to have a rough spell. You're not going to a rival club and not have a rough spell. We had a rough 40 minutes in that second half. Rough. But we got out of it nice.
Depends on that.
What do you mean? Well, which part?
We was all right over the bridge.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But I'm saying but the form we're in, the state we're in, we had to just get 3 points. So from my point of view, it's one of those games where you don't care about the performance. You really don't. You just keep it moving.
Tottenham gifted you, man. Fucking Tottenham, man.
Did you think I'd forgotten you?
The trigger finger was itching. You little pussy. You ain't getting me today, you dickhead.
Perhaps you hoped I had.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I'm flirting between a 1-1 draw or a 2-1 win. I think we can get something out of this game. I'm going to say Spurs will win this 2-1.
I'm rapidly falling out of love with football.
Hey, we're third, yeah. So your shit, we're third.
Liverpool 2, Tottenham 1, and I will see you after the game, Toby.
We're third, yeah. So your shit, we're third. Spurs have lost. Konaté, who was incredible. I fell to my knees. He's special, man. He's a special center. Let me show you my WhatsApp. I just can't with these SHIT wing backs. I'm trying not to swear. I cannot do it anymore. You little pussy,
I love Skullduggery.
Skullduggery is evil. Skullduggery is evil. You know when you put up that poll earlier on being like, who will I spare?
Yeah, that's so evil.
I put in a comment being like, can I put in a special request to not spare SAEED? And then Skullduggery texts me and goes, they're all getting it. They're all getting it.
I fucking love him.
And I said to Toby earlier on, you got off light. I was waiting for Turkish to pull the trigger there. I was waiting for that to come.
I was surprised that Toby actually fell for it. Usually he's the first one saying that.
Normally I'm quite hot on this. Yeah, you're right.
It was the poll.
Normally I'm quite hot on this. Yeah.
It was the poll. It was the poll.
I was thinking I stopped there. I was like, what's going on?
Is what it is. It is what it is.
I like this whole clip in the middle of the show.
It is what it is.
He's the goat, man. Skullduggery's the goat.
I forgot all that shit Toby said, man. Damn, that was wild.
Yeah.
What was wild?
Do you rate Eric Dyer now? Do you rate him?
I don't think he's a bad player, but he's just so error prone, man. And that's the problem with Dyer. Like the game itself, like leaving that game, you're just dejected because you're actually thinking like, for a team that's been slammed for their performances in recent games, we actually played well enough to not lose that game, man. We created chances despite us having our injuries. We took the game to Liverpool in the second half. We really did, and forced the situation. And to be honest, we actually had more than like 1, 2, 3 chances to score even before Harry Kane expertly finished. But when you start off slow the way we did, when you put in certain players to play these games, and then when you make boneheaded mistakes like Eric Dyer makes, you're gonna get punished. I remember after the Marseille game, we had a slow start to the game. The first half was terrible, and one of the points I made in my post match is this whole second half comeback thing. Yeah, like people can talk about the resilience, and I remember I said this after Bournemouth, but you can't keep starting slowly and expect to basically recover the result. I said this against Bournemouth. You lot said I was moaning, because what happens is when you play up against a top side and you give them the room, the freedom to do what they want in the first half, before you even get back into the game could be done. And Liverpool got their 2 goals in the first half and chilled. And let's be real, in the second half, Liverpool were not even competitive at all. I think they had one chance with Mo Salah and then the offside chance with Darwin Núñez. But outside of that, they were not competitive at all. Physically, they were losing every duel. Konaté and Van Dijk. It was basically Konaté, Van Dijk, and Inshallah. Konaté was literally on a one-man machine to sort of stop us from scoring. Like they were there for the taking, and we just couldn't punish them. But again, why do we have to do it from 2-0 down? In the first half, with the lineup as well, like we had our injuries, so I wasn't expecting like a nice lineup. But I must admit, like looking at the lineup, made for ugly reading. And people will say, "Oh no, Conte's setting up. He's gonna make this difficult for Liverpool." I think he had a go in the second half, but in the first half, why are you starting Emerson Royale? Why are you starting Sessegnon? You saw my text message on my phone. I can't deal with these SHIT wingbacks. I can't do it. I speak about it every week. Every week, if I search wingbacks, I'll have like 1,000 results because we mention it every single day of the week in Spurs chats. And when we play, we mention it at least 10 times because it's the biggest detractor, bro. Everything we're trying to do. You saw that cross from Chicken Real in the second half. My goodness. The ball gets played to him. There's no one in the box. There's literally nobody in the box. Just wait. Be patient. Just wait. And this guy absolutely balloons across that goes on the other side of the pitch for Liverpool throwing. Like, what can you do? What can you do when you have these guys playing your team? I'll tell you what you can do. Just don't play them. And that's on Conte. Don't play them. He does not have to play Emerson Royale. He does not have to start Cesc in this game. Don't play them. Because when we went with Perisic, left wing back in the second half, the guy was killing Trent. 1v1, he was absolutely murdering Trent and Alexander-Arnold. Why? Why do we have to start slow? If we had kept, even with the slow start as well, what pissed me off, yeah, GRIZZ was right, Nunez was killing us the first 30 minutes, but I think we sort of figured it out after the first goal that they're constantly going on the right-hand side, yeah? I think we figured it out. And I felt like we were getting back into the game. Like, we weren't good in the first half, but we were getting back into the game. And I'm saying to my mate, you know what? This was after the Perisic header as well. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Like, Liverpool, ever since that Perisic header that hit the post, they look a little bit ropey here. Like, keep it 1-0 heading into halftime, and we won't lose this game. And Alisson literally kicks the ball, uncontested header. Eric Dyer has the freedom to either bring it down, head it straight forward, and he basically aims his header onto the floor for Salah to run through and score. And Mo Salah, GRIZZ is right, Mo Salah had a really good game, and he just tucked it away. And that's not even the first time we've done that shit to Salah. Eric Dyer did it 3 or 4 years ago at Anfield. Passed the ball to Mo Salah, and Mo Salah races through on goal and scores. Every single time we play Liverpool, scratch that, every single time we have a big game, there's always someone in our team that presses the self-destruct button. And I don't get why.
Can I ask SAEED, are you still worried about Mohamed Salah and his performances 3 weeks ago? Like, since you spoke, like, I think you got motivated.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know his record. I don't know if you've been watching him play.
I did a Grealish role, innit?
Yeah, because I think Mohamed Salah is playing really well. The last 3-4 weeks, pretty much since the City game, he's been him as an individual is playing really, really well. So I don't know. I just wanted your thoughts on Mohamed Salah.
No, I think
he's still
finished.
doing well. Is he finished? You said
finished. You're talking about.
I think you said.
Listen,
I'm talking about what you're
speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself. He's doing well.
I know. I'm talking about what you were talking about. You said he's finished. He can't be part of Liverpool 2.0 and all that business. I just thought. Well, have you changed? Was it too soon?
Listen, I'm gonna give him credit while I can now. While Salah's playing well, he's getting the goals. So we'll just leave it as that. I think
still not world class, no? Still not world class.
Listen, I'm not here to give a
okay. I got your message. I got your
message. But I think for you, you could detail that.
I mean, I asked you nicely. I think some people thought I asked you aggressively to say he's world class, and none of you. I think 2 or 3 of you refused to say he's world class. Like,
okay. I'll speak on that, GRIZZ. I said he has been world class. He wasn't world class since maybe last January. But what we saw against Tottenham, I will give him his credit and his flowers. It was world class. It was Salah at his best, if you ask me again. He looked clinical. He looked confident and that sort of thing. So big up Mo Salah for that. But I want to go back to some of the stuff Toby said about Tottenham, which was, aside from the individual errors that obviously ultimately cost you the game, I still think that it wasn't Tottenham's worst performance. I still think they actually played quite well for large parts of the game, and possibly to the point where they'll feel really disappointed they didn't pick up at the bare minimum a point. I mean, when you think about it, Perisic hit the crossbar. And listen, we can speak about the penalty situation because, you know, it kind of is related to my game as well. If Cancelo's foul against Fulham is a penalty, I think that one on Sessegnon is a penalty too. I don't think it's a red card the way Cancelo's was because it's far more out wide and, you know, the Cancelo one was central. But I think the physical contact is the exact same. He goes straight through the back of him. So for me, I think Tottenham should have had a penalty. If they get that, they score that. You know, it's a whole different game. The dynamics are completely different. So I get your frustration, Toby, because when you see things like Eric Dyer making blunders like that, you're going, what the fuck is this guy doing? But the overall performance was much better. And now you've got Kulusevski back. You know, the team looked completely different when he came on the pitch. You saw the impact he had straight away, bang, goal. What was it? 2 or 3 minutes into his entrance to the pitch. You have him to look forward to now. He's back, and you know how good he is. Such an improvement of what's already there. So I get your frustration because you lost the game, because you probably do feel, I'd say you'd agree with me, you deserved at least a point. Yeah,
some will probably say it's karma because we've actually played worse than we did against Liverpool. We've won this season. That's the scary part. So some would say it's karma, and even the penalty shout as well. Yeah, when I watched it back, I think we probably should have got a penalty for that. But to be honest, I'm not really. That's not really the main focus of the game for me. I care more about what we did with the ball and what we did with our tactics. And even last season as well, when we drew 2-2, we had a penalty. Emerson Royale stonewall penalty against Diogo Jota. Literally similar situation to Trent on Sessegnon, but way more aggressive. He's just gone straight through the back of him, and the ref didn't give anything. So, listen, I actually believe in karma. So yeah, like whatever, man. We just got to hold that. We had enough chances to to get back into the game, and we had enough professionals to not make the mistakes that we did, and we didn't take our chances and we made the mistakes, so we didn't win the game. But to be honest, I think that performance is encouraging, and like you said, Kulusevski back in the team is a big breath of fresh air. Like, I think when he was getting those assists last year, there were certain people on Twitter who were basically making it out like he was propping up, like Kane and Son were propping him up, and that his numbers were inflated, and oh yeah, he's not that good and stuff like that. Well, you've seen the impact. When Kulusevski's not in the team, you see the difference. You see the difference in the side, and you see how it alters the way the manager wants to set the team up. When Kulusevski's in the team, bro, listen, they were trembling yesterday. They were trembling, like they could not touch him. I think Van Dijk was the only one who actually squared up to him when he got into the box and actually won the ball. But the rest of them, they were scared, bro. He's so strong, so powerful. Bang, assist straight for Harry Kane. Fantastic finish from Kane as well, by the way. I felt like Konaté basically had him in his pocket pretty much the whole game, but that's what a world-class striker does. Like, he literally just had just a sniff, just a yard, and he put it bottom corner. So yeah, we lost the game. It's not ideal, but if we can perform like that against Leeds, and when we come back from for the whole 90 minutes, not just 45 minutes, if we can perform like that for the whole 90 minutes against Leeds, and when we come back from the World Cup and we sign some players in January, I think we'll be fine, man. I still think, yeah, we've had a bumpy road, but we're still on course to hit our targets. We're still in the top 4 as it stands now, and if we beat Leeds, we maintain a top 4 spot heading into the World Cup break. So yeah.
Too many dickheads in the chat today.
Why? What's wrong?
Nothing, just a few dickheads, man. Mods need to, you know, I mean, we all love banter, we all love everything, but if someone's just constantly abusing one of us, just remove him, man. But anyway, sorry.
Do you think you're going to finish above us?
It's not over yet. There's still a chance, yeah.
You want to put some money on that?
Nah, I'm good. I've already made a lot of bets this season, so trust me. I've made a lot of bets.
Right, cool. No worries.
This week,
How many is Richarlison? I got Richarlison. I got Martial. Yeah, man. I'm eating nice.
Listen, Richie will be back.
I'm eating nice.
Martial will be back.
No, you won't. No, you won't. That's not.
Oh, and big up Basuma as well. Basuma was really good yesterday as well. I was happy. Hope now he's getting a run of games. Slowly, we're starting to see signs of the Basuma that we saw at Brighton. So that was good. That was encouraging.
This top 4 race is wild, man. That weekend just gone was a prime example of how wild
it's wild, Huey.
I spoke last week, and I was probably a bit wrong when I spoke about it, when I was saying, the 10-point gap from Liverpool up to the top 4 was probably, it's a big mountain. We spoke a little bit about that. This weekend has made me rethink the whole thing. Tottenham dropping points, Chelsea dropping points, United dropping points, Liverpool getting a big win down in London. Like, there's going to be so many twists and turns this season. It's an absolutely wild one.
It is crazy. Newcastle are doing very well. But yeah, let's move. Super chat time. Ibby says Spurs is that friend who's been unemployed for a long time, who keeps lying, bigging up all the interviews he got, but we all know they ain't getting a job. Couple on SAEED. Don't worry, moving on to United next. Don't worry about that. Blue Moon as well. But that one's on Chelsea, so we'll get that in at the end. There we go. Lovely day for Liverpool fans. Now, top sources in Germany, Pete Plettenberg and Berg are suggesting Liverpool are leading the race for Bellingham. Well, I doubt that without a new owner. You'd have to have that new owner in now.
You already know my thoughts on that in the WhatsApp group, so we speak when the time comes.
Cool. Spurs is the graveyard for top managers. You want to dip in your CV, go to Spurs. X started getting on Conte's case. I'm waiting for Toby's turn. 14 games in, can deluded Toby finally accept playing with handbrakes on early in games as a Conte strategy? If not, how many games will it take? No comment?
No, I've already alluded to that as much. I think he definitely plays a part, but I also think sometimes our players can be too passive. I think it's a shared responsibility.
GRIZZ, the Ricketts family are coming for you, and young Neo again says, Toby, I must admit that chicken dinner to round my Sunday off was amazing. Even that depends. Prepared. I'll be back for more in the land. Toby, your world-class manager seems to have run out of luck and taking you to the heights of 7 points plus a game in hand behind the mighty Arsenal. Mings,
how many points were you lot ahead of us last season? Again?
So what are you saying? Like I said, you want to bet on this or not?
No, I don't want to bet on it. I'm just saying it's not over. These Arsenal fans that are sending the super chats, don't shoot your load too early, because that's what happened last season. And
take the bet then. Take the bet then.
No.
No.
I got enough bets.
Okay, cool. Mings, Maguire, and Eric Diarrhea. Good luck, England. Tap in TOBS. Conte turns you into Twerkby. Now he's playing arrow-shaped formations in 6 pointers. Sai says excessive owners' money is like athletes taking steroids to get performances that they don't have. Does not matter who does it, it's cheating. Football is a sport, not a financial competition. Apart from Haaland, Xhaka is probably the Premier League player of the season so far.
He's up there.
Definitely. JJ says, please explain to me how on earth Richarlison is making it to the Brazil squad with 0 goals in 9 appearances and Firmino not in after 6 goals in 12. Ecstatic Jesus and Martinelli are in off to watch Brazil versus Cameroon.
Can I address this? The reason why Richarlison's in the squad is because he scored 18 goals in 37 appearances for Brazil, and he plays regularly for Tite. And Firmino, who's a better tech man, can't do the job that Tite needs him to do up top like Richarlison can.
Not anymore.
That's
I'm happy with that. But I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with Bobby not going. More than you can believe.
I bet.
I'm sure you are. Yeah, he needs the rest.
KM says, drawing Real Madrid, FSG selling, extra positive. Jude news from Pleti goal this evening. A good day for us. And
shout out Pakistan as well for reaching the World Cup semi-finals from the depths of nowhere. So it's been a mad weekend still for me. You never walk alone and all that.
We got lucky with the 3 points from Spurs. That second half had me worried. The fight for top 4 continues. That's the ones on Tottenham, Liverpool. But we have a few here from earlier. Braxton says, good evening. Matisse, Kraid, and Twerk, hold that. Wow, Saeed.
So forced. So forced.
Where are we?
Look at the picture.
Man, that's
where's that from?
Yo, whoever that is, send me that right now on Twitter, please. DM me that photo, please. Send me that.
No, you done me there. You know, I should block you. Block you. Fuck the super chat. Fuck the super chat.
That is hilarious.
Please.
We got everyone sending a super chat and not just engaging in the comment section. It's all good. It's all good. But fuck your super chat though. Where are we? Get that off my screen. Saeed.
Yeah.
What are you telling me, man? What are you telling me?
What are you telling me? Good evening.
Two big fixtures this weekend, and we could have actually started with your one. That's how mad it is.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest shock of it, I think, for me. You know what I mean? Chelsea are a bit bad form. Tottenham, you know what I mean, with Conte stubbornness. I think this is the biggest shock of the weekend because Aston Villa are 17th in the league, but man, like, good evening, decided to choose violence, mate. He was on it, man. He was on smoke, mate. And this was an Aston Villa side that came out of the blocks, 2 goals in the first 11 minutes. Caught me napping, man. I can't lie to you. We were just poor, man. We were poor. We were poor to everything. They showed more fight, more resilience, more attacking qualities. We were poor in transitions. The midfield didn't work. You know what I mean? Certain players had bad performances. You know what I mean? Lisandro didn't really play his best game. We were just poor, man. And Aston Villa deserved it fully. Like, they fully deserved it. And it just shows you how good this Premier League is, that 17th in the league can come up to a United team that's not lost in 10 games, have looked good in them 10 games and be valued for what they've done. And we got turned over, man. I can't lie. I'm pissed off because we could have put a gap against Chelsea 5 points. Obviously, now in hindsight, Tottenham lost and we would have been level on points with them. Just typical United. That's what I said in my match reaction. It's typical United, man. Every time you try and get excited, every time you think, right, let's kick on now. You know what I mean? Just same old, innit, man? Same old.
It humbles you, innit?
Football is a humbler, mate.
The one weekend I back you lot to win. The one time I back you lot to win. You go.
Yeah, and you need to stop that, innit? I told you. Why did you do that, man?
He did as well.
You know what?
As soon as Hughie predicted the win, he went shit.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? So listen, I just think for me, I can't lie to you. You guys can banter me, you can banter the team and that, but I just feel like that was a miss opportunity, man, for United in terms of this top four kind of where we're kind of building off. It was a big opportunity missed. And Aston Villa, it was the ultimate manager bounce. Like, nobody can dispute that. Aston Villa looked like animals, bro. Like, they were to every ball, they were unbelievable. To every man, they were unbelievable. They defensively were solid. Obviously, we got to go through our deflection. So in reality, we didn't really create that many opportunities. They were all right, man. Tyrone Mings is wrestling out Ronaldo, man. You know what I mean? Tyrone Mings is a bad defender, but he kept most of our attackers quiet. So, bro, I hope this game is in isolation. It's a bad day at the office. You know what I mean? Ten Hag hasn't rotated the team, and it showed. Eriksen was poor. Van der Beek didn't take his opportunity. And yeah, we were just poor, man. And I think for me, ultimately, it's a lesson for Ten Hag to understand that, yo, listen, you know, you've got to get a balanced midfield in there. Attack Ronaldo. Listen, any Ronaldo fanboy in the chat, mate, it's like playing with 10 men, mate. Absolutely non-existent up front. We had Rashford on the right-hand side, who, again, that's not his game. He's more suited to the left, even though Garnacho played all right there. We are missing some attackers. Listen, I don't want to, you know, get the violins out if you want, but we are missing Anthony. Martial obviously has come back. Our bench wasn't great. You know, I mean, we brought on, obviously, Martial came back from injury, but we brought on MATISSE, again, a left back, and then we brought in Elanga, who isn't good enough. So our bench is looking a bit weak, you know what I mean? But we have to survive. You know what I mean? One more week at Fulham, and it has to be a must-win game. But I think it was a bad day at the office. I don't want to normally I'm kind of analysing performance a lot, and I'll be like, you know what? But I've just got to give it the benefit out for that week. It was just one of them where manager bounce, and they were on it on that day, and they were full credit to their win. I've got nothing. You know, I've got enough plaudits for Unai Emery. He did a job on us, man. Did a job on us.
I think with Villa, though, like I've actually been quite impressed with their last 3 consecutive home performances. They battered Chelsea like 3 games ago and should have won. They lost that game 2-0. Like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, they absolutely ripped Brentford to shreds. So I don't know. I feel like they're picking up a little bit of momentum at home, even though the away performances may not be that great. And I get you saying new manager bounce. I get it. Like, the team are definitely going to be playing for the manager. They're going to give that extra 10 or 20%. But when I tuned into that game, what I saw from United was just so poor, man. So poor. Yeah. Even the goals you conceded as well. Lindelof, we were speaking about this the other day. The main observation I have with Lindelof is he's so weak. Like, this guy, when it comes to physical duels, he cannot deal with physical strikers. It's been that way since he's joined Man United, and any striker who is physical, gets physical with Lindelof, it's peak. It's over.
So
Martinez,
passive, man.
Yeah, Martinez, I know we spoke about it, but for the third goal, what's he playing at, man? Free header, uncontested header, and he heads it straight to the opposition. They go down the line. Of course, Man United still need to recover, put bodies into the box to eradicate the cutback. It was poor, man. It was a really poor day in the office for United.
Very, very poor day, man. I think for me, like I said, I'm just glad that next week we've got one more game and just get the 3 points, because I feel like we are starting to see our team fatigue. Listen, you can get the violins out again, but you know what I mean? Ten Hag hasn't rotated his team, and now certain players that have been vital to what we've been trying to do, i.e. Eriksen, is now starting to kind of fade a little bit, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It's one of them. We haven't rotated well. Ten Hag has gone strong in Europa League, and it showed massively. Dalot was, again, very, very, you know what I mean, not himself in that game. So, and then obviously Shaw, who's been playing well, got hooked off by MATISSE. So it ain't easy, man. I can't lie to you. That manager bounce, man, I just flipping. I came at the wrong time, because I was thinking, Unai Emery got his visa for this game today. I was like, bro, man, can it not just be delayed? And it showed, man, this guy was on it.
So would you say your manager bounce is over as well now then? So if Unai Emery's is starting, was your manager bounce over, or is it still he's the right man and he's...
They never had a manager bounce. Did not get battered in the first 2 games.
There you go. That he's answered the question.
You know, but Liverpool in the pre-season, that was their manager bounce.
Yeah, that was big time. Big time.
Now we're still,
but saying that was probably the worst performance of the weekend, no doubt. From
easy.
Like, I know we talk about Chelsea, but they were playing Arsenal, and Liverpool Spurs was nip and tuck or whatever. But you guys with Villa, because no one saw that from Villa have been like, we've been cussing Steven Gerrard and Villa for the last I don't know how long, and they just tore you to shreds. Like that was, and like you're supposed to be having the best defense. Like not you, Man United fans have been coming at me left, right, and center, telling us I even clipped up certain Man United fans that are calling in my show and saying, yeah, we are now the best, hardest team to beat in the Premier League. We've got the Butcher who, like, you know what I mean? You refer to Aston Villa players like animals, or when Butchers see animals normally, we know what happens, but you're killed. But this Butcher turned vegan, you understand, very quickly against Villa. So I don't know what happened, because that was awful. He picks, look, we bigged him up about his handling of Ronaldo. We bigged him up. We said, yeah, he's handling Ronaldo. Now it looks like,
why is he captain?
Yeah, I'm
not gonna lie, I'm a bit disappointed in that. If I'm being honest with you, listen,
yeah, he's turned Wussio again, man. He's let him slime back in the team and even start up front and be captain.
For me, he's a captain. You should
does he have a choice,
the captain.
Maybe not the captaincy, but does he have a choice in terms of playing him?
No,
not playing him,
but
for me, captaincy is a big thing for him.
No, bro, Tobes, I'm not backing that. I think he has got a choice. I think Cristiano Ronaldo is that bad that he's like we've been saying, majority of us or some of us, I can't remember if all of you lot say, he's that bad. You don't look.
Was Elanga fit?
Even if you play a youngster, there you go. Even if you play a youngster, at least you know it's for the future.
Yeah. I can't lie to you, GRIZZ.
I don't think Elanga's for the future, but I get what you're
saying. No. He's for me. He's poor. But you know what it is, yeah. I was just gonna say, you know how bad it is, that I'd rather Rashford start up front than Ronaldo. You know how?
Why is that bad though? Why are you making that's so bad? I agree fully.
No, because Rashford is poor as a number 9. That's why.
Ronaldo is just fading.
Ronaldo's nothing. Ronaldo's nothing. I've been saying it for ages.
It's finished. But can I also say as well? I think you in this game, similar to Brentford in a way, that when the game opens up, that's when Eriksen in that double pivot for me doesn't work. And defensively, because on the ball, he's quality on the ball. But defensively, when you're looking at that Ramsey position that he took up to play in Bailey, I think, there's nobody. Casemiro is obviously off to the right hand side. He's dealing with other danger. He's only one man. He needs help. And defensively, he's not getting any help from his partner. And it's okay in games where you dominate the ball and, you play out from the back. But when you're defending, that's where he's getting caught. And he's been caught against Man City with Foden. He's been caught against Brentford. He's been caught a few times defensively. And it's not his fault because Eriksen's not a defensive midfielder. But if you're looking at one area of the team as well, along with striker, that I think you could do with improving is you need somebody.
You need a ball carrier as well.
Yeah, you could do with a defensive minded player, but can carry the ball. Yeah, for sure. In that place.
Enzo Fernandez.
Make Eriksen more of maybe a squad player for certain.
Are you tired of Fernandez's, mate?
Yeah.
Sorry, Fernandez not to join Benfica.
Ain't you tired of Fernandez's from Portugal?
Listen, Enzo Fernandez is the
one. I know who he is. I'm saying, ain't you tired of Fernandez's?
Nah, this is a different Enzo.
Different type of Fernandez. Big Fernandez.
Yeah, different type of Fernandez. You know what it is here? I've been very clear on here though about Eriksen that he should have never been the main catalyst for United. I think he should have been a person that should have added to our squad. But Man United and obviously,
what about Fred? Was he injured?
Fred was on the bench, but the thing is, like the manager goes through phases of he likes what he does, and then he kind of says, "No, this is not the right game." He gave Donny a chance. Obviously, Donny I thought was bright in the first half in certain aspects, but he hooked him off. So I think in hindsight, he got the balance wrong in that midfield because Villa was so dynamic and so athletic in that midfield. They were just running past us, and they got the best out of our midfield. So it's a tricky one, man. We need a lot still, but again, for me, I just got to look at this game in isolation. It's the first loss in 10. We have to keep a little bit of perspective, but at the same time, though, my mentality is that we still could have been 5-point gap ahead of Chelsea, and obviously being closer to Tottenham. So, it's a big opportunity we missed, man. Big opportunity.
What about De Gea?
De Gea, what do you want to talk about De Gea for?
Was he good?
What can he do with that shot? And then the free kick was a very good free kick from Digne. Listen, let's not do this, Matisse. Yeah, please.
I'm just asking, bro.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he was at no fault for the goals.
I'm genuinely asking because I was too busy,
All right.
Depressed.
Cool. When it's not a fault.
The game was straight after mine. It came too soon. I managed to get back for the Tottenham Liverpool, but I needed my space. Right. I needed my time to heal.
Say less.
I didn't get to see. I just saw you tipped goals, and I thought that could be an agenda I could run on the show. So I thought I'd ask.
All right, okay. Mendy should have done better as well for that goal. I think so. But yeah, we move. But yeah, that's all how much I've got to say about United. I think for me, it was a big missed opportunity. Very, very.
Chat is rattled.
Yeah, because you don't come for the game, man. The Gea stands are in the chat, man. You don't come for the Gea army, man.
No, I
don't know. Don't come riding out.
Yeah, I just saw Ericsson. I could have needed to be stronger. I don't know about the rest of the rest of that defense. Martinez is like it's an isolation thing. He had a game, but he's been good, man. He's been very good. So I can't even get onto him. You can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And there you go. That's about it for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Martinez is still adjusting in it, but
certain
United fans on Twitter were moving mad with his name recently. But
Saliba.
Let's look at some of the super chats that we have that's come in. Voice of the Villains, big up, my guy. Says, geez, yes, lads, big up, man. But I just want to say to Saeed, good evening. I said Villa will win. Blue Moon, as always. Matisse, what happened, bro? Your team got moved to by City's B team. And Saeed's like, wow, good evening, guys. I think Newcastle will get top 4. Same old United every year now. Overhyped season, players disappoint. Hashtag Banter Club Kings. Big up Gareth. Where are we? Philippe, big up lads. So happy for my team's success. Philippe is a Newcastle fan. Spurs looking shaky in the Big Six. We're coming for everything. Hope you all stay safe. Best show in the world.
We do need to give a bit of credit to Newcastle on their season. You've got, bro, they're relentless, man. And that Almiron, bro. Grealish, man. You
need to tell Jack to apologize.
Jack Grealish.
I'm not telling Jack to do anything. Jack can do whatever he wants.
It might not be affecting you now, but if they get ahead of steam and start competing for titles, then Almiron might be a problem.
Yeah, I'll give Jack a call then, but for now it's cool.
Get Steve to get in that lift again.
Get that lift.
Get Steve to get in that lift and wait for him in
the lift. Yo, needs to have a word, man. Trippier as well.
Yeah, Trippier.
Yeah.
Gareth, he's doing bare bits for my FPO. I'm not gonna lie. By the way,
he's in everyone's team now, man.
Okay. Can I ask a question, right? If Newcastle make it, obviously nobody here is going to get replaced because we all family and that. But what do we do? Big man thing, like.
No, the Big Six is the Big Six.
It's the Big Six. That's why Turkish was clever. You know what I mean?
And Newcastle can make a guest appearance.
They don't have the history, lads. They don't have the history to be on this show. You know what I mean? They don't have.
Yes, Huey. Yes, Huey.
Did Man City have history? Did Man City have history?
We have to get. I don't know. You have to give them a guest appearance or something in it, like because I want to talk about them. I actually
the Big Six. The Big Six presents the Super 7. That's the answer, man. So don't worry.
Yeah, we'll do spin-offs like Power. You know how Power spin-offs.
The plan's ready.
You know what I mean?
Gareth says Emery always does a job on United, even with Arsenal. What's this nonsense about United squad depth? Most expensive squad, hefty wages and all. Just accept you're a mid team right now. Bozo jeans.
That's the mad thing as well. They spent so much money and they're still short on players.
Short is saying it lightly. Saeed, bro, be honest. Martinez or Saliba?
Martinez.
Oh, you're a liar, man.
You're a liar.
Actually, lying.
Listen, man. I believe in my butcher. I believe in my butcher.
Martinez is class.
I respect Saliba. I respect what he's doing.
Saliba's got the height on top.
Listen, man. The butcher.
Is that what you're going to say? The butcher. Man called him a vegan butcher 10 minutes ago and you didn't say nothing.
Well, listen, that's why, you know what I mean? You have to just, you know what I mean?
Saliba's younger, you know. How old is Saliba? How old is Saliba? 21?
He's similar age, isn't it? Something like that.
Nah, I swear Saliba's a couple years younger than him.
Is it?
I think so.
Really? Trying to make out Saliba same age as Martinez.
Why are you trying to sit there and lie?
I'm not joking. I just didn't think you'd just stress on that point.
He's 3 years younger.
But listen, I'm still having Lisandro Martinez over Saliba.
But can you not see that Saliba's built like Van Dijk? Like seriously now, like he could be one of the best centre backs in the league. Like he could be the greatest centre back in the league in his stint. He's that level.
I think you just got to give him credit for right now, and he's doing well. Simple.
I hear it. But when it's Man United players, we got to give him.
It's amazing how balanced he was there.
Yeah. When it's Man United players, bro.
What do you want me to say?
Bro,
What do you want to say? Like
in the league, I've never
Van
heard
Dijk's
you
only had
ever
2 years, and they're
any
calling
Man
him, you know what I
United
mean, better than Rio Ferdinand. So
in any
what
player
do you want me to do?
in any Man
Yeah,
United
with
player's
Griezmann,
form,
yeah.
I've never heard you be like, you know what? Yeah, they're in a good spell. We gotta calm down.
We can't.
That's a very good question there. You know, that's a very good question there. Konaté or Saliba?
Saliba.
Well, there you go.
Rest of you?
Saliba.
I think Saliba's better. It's a good question, you know.
Konaté.
Konaté's it's close, man. I'd say Konaté.
I think it's close. It's very close.
Konaté's showing it at Champions League level. That's the one thing I'll say right now that all Arsenal players are yet to do is obviously they haven't had the chances to show it at Champions League level and show it at Champions League level and then play Premier League after. That's a big.
Can I also say I respect you for saying Konaté showing at Champions League level, and I respect you for saying Saliba needs to show it at Champions League level. I'll go with that one step further and say Saliba needs to show it at Premier League level. No, Premier League level. We're 12 games in.
Okay, fair.
So why do you back me up when I was just there? Like, just
is that your fight?
I kept quiet. I didn't back you. I didn't back you.
Martinez is the same number of games in.
That's why I didn't comment. That's why I didn't comment because certain people are saying Konaté. Brother, he's been playing like near enough 18 months now at the very highest level.
I think it's been
at the very club.
Was he not injured for most of the season so far? He's only back recently, isn't he?
Someone said, "What about Akanji?"
What about Romero? What about Romero?
Hand on heart, yeah.
Romero's quite good.
If you could get Saliba for Konaté right now, are you telling me you wouldn't?
I wouldn't know, but I love Saliba. I love Saliba. I think Saliba's brilliant.
But the reason why I disagree with you on that point is because of fitness. Saliba is not injury prone.
Yeah.
Listen, this Konaté injury prone. He got a nasty tackle the first game preseason, man. It wasn't injury prone. He's not getting muscle hamstring strains every other week. Is it just a mad injury and made him miss the first 3 months?
Was he not injured quite a bit last year?
No, man. He played loads of games for last season. He was man of the match for us in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, I wouldn't argue if people have Saliba as their opinion. It is close, man. I wouldn't argue. But obviously, my boy's a beast, man. You watch him week in, week out, and you see the difference he makes.
It's quality, man. Quality.
Konaté is mental.
It's definitely between Saliba,
Imagine a France squad.
Konaté for
Look at the France squad.
All right.
Look at the France squad. How stacked it is, though. It's mad.
Yeah, it's tough.
You just want to be me, Saeed.
Good partnership.
Sorry,
I literally just said that. Do you want to be me?
I don't think he wants to be you or Tottenham.
Right, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, humble yourself, bro. You know what I mean? I might be back in Conte, but I never want to be a Tottenham. You know what I mean? Like, never. You know what I mean?
Nothing beats a SAEED hype after a few good games. Ten Hag doesn't have the squad he trusts to rotate SAEED. Certain men in that squad are overrated. Man, you look tired, says Mike Crazy. You can spend 700 mil in 4 years and have no depth. The Prem is crazy.
That's crazy.
Who does he support? Mike, who does he support?
Hold on a second.
Doesn't really matter who he supports.
How many games did Konaté play in the Premier League last season?
He's nuts. He's right.
Making me...
No, but who does he support then? Because I want to compare it to his
Mike.
Hold on, GRIZZ.
You want to compare it?
Hold on, GRIZZ. He played 11 Premier League games last season. What's up? What's going on? Why are you lying?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know? I was thinking he didn't play that many.
He played over 20 games for us last season.
Bro, 20. You played 60 games a season.
No, I'm saying no. There's a 38-game season, man. What do you mean 60
Champions League, Europa League.
In fact, okay, if you count all the cups,
every final in the whole thing.
Listen, you
he played every final. And you got to remember,
you're a liar, fam. Don't do
this. Let me explain.
Let me explain.
Hey, what are you saying? Saliba's got the same amount of appearances.
Bro, you was doing the quadruple. You played 60 games.
There you go. He played 29 games. Hold on. He played 29 games last season when he was competing with Joe Matip, who was one of the best centre backs in the Premier League as well, in my humble opinion. So it's not. Everyone talks about rotation. When you got 3 centre backs. I won't even count Joe Gomez. When you got 3 centre backs of that caliber, I'm sure you guys would love your centre backs to be rotated, remain fresh.
No, you don't really.
29 games he played last season. That in a team that competed for everything. So
You don't really play. You don't really rotate centre backs like that. But all right.
Yeah,
we do. We have a different centre back partnership every single week. That's why.
Yeah. So listen, Man City and Liverpool, please.
We got 5 centre halves, man.
Yeah,
we play around.
talking, man. Yeah.
All right. Title-winning teams apart from City don't usually rotate.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. You don't listen to kids in there, man. Like, you know what I mean? Why do you
just stats. It's 11 starts.
Why do you not fall for kids, man? Like, always, every time you listen to the chat. That's what I said. Don't read the chat.
That's just over 1/4 of the Premier League.
Listen to football people talk. Don't listen to, you know what I mean, read the chat. You're going to get rattled. 29 games he played last season. For a 22-year-old, like when he was last season, that's very good going for a team like Liverpool competing for all the trophies. Case closed.
Yeah. Last one on United as well. Ryan, good evening, Saeed. Mr. Emery said your goal difference is staying on -1. Can't wait till you man come to the Emirates, January 21st. Like I said, that's the last United one. There's 8.6K in the building. I haven't given a reminder to hit the like button, but I've just noticed that we're on 3,000 likes already. So let's try and get 4,000. Why not? There's still 8.6K.
Mad.
As well as that, though, it's not.
That used to be our concurrent, and before that, I checked the first ever Big Six. We got 9,000 views in total. That was like it.
Maz.
Wow. Bro, it's mad because I even see because now YouTube separate the pages out when you log onto my channel.
I know, I was gonna say
that's how I found it.
The original Big Six I done, which was with my friends. That I just done it with friends first, and it was called the Top 6, and then it went to the Big Six, and then it came to you, man, in November, like 2 years ago. To be honest, it might be 2 years, even this week or something. Around mid-November, 12th of November or something. But yeah, nearly 2 years in, the numbers are mad. But big up everyone, as well as hitting the like button. We said we'll get Hugh to 5K before the year ends, so get Hugh to 5K. Big up SAEED, GRIZZ, TOBS, MATISSE, THUGGERY as well. Make sure you're all subscribing them, notification bell on, because there's a lot of cross content coming as well in the next 6 months to a year. So make sure you guys are there. Official channel, Big Six Extra. You know what it is already. Real soon. I'm looking at it next week when the league takes a little break. So make sure you're there with the notification bell on as well. Hit the like button, and we will move on to Man City. Last minute penalty against Fulham. We got a super chat on it. De Bruyne diving, clever penalty, VAR, consistency, discuss. Because I honestly ain't got a clue anymore.
Yeah, I'll discuss. I'll start off by saying it was a special win. It was a special win. It was no ordinary 2-1 win over Fulham, and just because you guys were all playing against each other and the madnesses in your games, it probably overshadowed our game. But this was a special win considering the circumstances and the way we won it. We went 1-0 up, a fantastic goal from Alvarez. He's a player who's really growing into form since Haaland was away for a while. Alvarez, he started off a bit slow. He's a really serious finisher, and that's why we brought him in, because he's got that extra bit of clinicalness that we wanted that Jesus and Sterling didn't provide. I watch him take these goals. The one he got against Sevilla was similar. He just steadies himself, he composed himself, and he just rifles into the back of the net. The keeper had no chance. And I'm kind of starting to think at that point, right, we're in a good position here. We're controlling the game. It looks like that comprehensive win I was asking for in the preview. And then, disaster strikes. I think it's a deserved penalty. I think it's a deserved red card. I'm not here to try and justify anything or say, it was unfair or there's things were going against us. Cancelo went right through the back of him. He's in a goal scoring position. It's a red card. It's a penalty. And that's why I said I believe the Sessegnon one was a penalty for Tottenham against Liverpool. Exact same physical altercation. Penalties, absolutely justified. He scores his penalty. All of a sudden, we're under the cosh. There's still 60 minutes to go. We're down to 10 men. Fulham are starting to get a sniff of a point. And we're saying, what are we going to do to put ourselves through here? It felt a little bit like the Leicester game the following or the week before, where they set up with the low block. They're saying we're going to hold out here and do our very best to get a point. And we need someone to stand up. We need someone special to stand up. We make the substitution. We bring on Haaland. That's what we brought him in for, to stand up and be the difference in those games. So many games over the years, Southampton, Crystal Palace, the Newcastle, or teams that have taken points off us before we had Haaland or a striker. And now we have that guy who's going to be that man. So he comes on, he scores that great header. For me, I think it's very close. I think if it was given, I'd say fair enough. It's not given. Apparently his hand was offside. You can't score with your hand. So, you know what I mean? Consistency. We can talk about consistency in VAR all day. It's one of those conversations I don't want to dive deep into. It is what it is. Didn't go our way this time. It's gone our way before. Then we got the penalty. Yeah, the super chat there alluding to that, saying he was diving. I do believe that it was soft, but by the letter of the law, it's a penalty. There's contact there. De Bruyne, I think he does milk it. I'm honest enough to admit that. I think he throws himself to the ground. I'll say that. I don't think there's much in it, but De Bruyne plays for it. De Bruyne is an experienced player in the big moments. He knows exactly what he's doing there. Throws himself to the ground, penalty city. And the thing is, I saw or I read something about the penalty situation that the actual designated penalty taker for the day was Rodri. It wasn't to be Haaland. Even if Haaland was on the pitch, it was meant to be Rodri, because you guys all know about our penalty disasters for years now. Really,
Rodri can take penalties.
Rodri has taken, I think, one penalty. I think he might have scored it against Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. A couple of years ago, or maybe it was someone. He scored one penalty against someone. And that was it. But he was set to take this penalty, but apparently he looked at Haaland, and Haaland had this like look in his eye. Rodri said this. This is Rodri's quotes, not word for word. I just had a look. He just had a look in his eye. I want to give it to him. Haaland says, "Yes, give it to me." I won't lie. He looked
not a bad choice.
No, not a bad choice. The thing is, we all talk about Haaland being robotic and he doesn't feel pressure. It's a nice gimmick to say those kind of things.
Leno should have.
But
should have got that.
Can I speak on?
Let me just finish. Sorry. He's 22 years old. He has all this expectation to be that man, to separate us in those, be the difference in those big moments. What's going through his head? 95th minute. He's been away for 10 days, hasn't played. He has to score this. Not the best penalty, but when you hit it low and hard into the corner with enough power, there's every chance it goes in. And that's exactly what he was brought in to do. Be the difference, have the cool head, and get us those 3 points. Like, it was that, 95th minute, regardless of who it's against, it's going to feel brilliant when he scored that goal. It felt a little bit like when Sterling scored against Southampton a couple of years ago at a similar time. And it's one of those ones that we will look back on, should we win the Premier League in May, and go, that one was absolutely huge. We had to dig 100%. Deep. This was no ordinary performance. We had to dig really, really deep for that one. And listen, we're just blessed to have the Haaland fella up front, because he's the man with the cool head. De Bruyne was the man with the cool head last week with the free kick. I'm happy.
I think that both goals were crazy as a goalkeeper. Like the first one, if he just stands there, like it was in the middle of the goal and the penalty. But Kevin De Bruyne, I want to speak on just very quickly. I know we're coming into 2 hours, but this guy, that was simply the biggest compliment I can give him. Of course, is I'm going to compare him to my GOAT, Steven Gerrard. That was a Steven Gerrard-esque performance where 10 men, Fulham, raining. It was looking peak for Man City. And Fulham, don't get me wrong, were like camped in their halfway turn, and they didn't show much balls as well. I guess without Mitrovic, the talisman, it's going to be like that maybe. But Kevin De Bruyne lifted you. That performance, because I watched that game, it was one of those, I just watched it, innit? Like, not because it related to Liverpool before you lot starting saying, why did you watch that? It doesn't concern you. I get it. But Kevin De Bruyne was monumental. For me, that was, as an individual performance goes, for me, I know he's been getting a bit of criticism from City fans. Not criticism, but that he's not at his best. But for me,
for me with De Bruyne is GRIZZ. It's the same story with De Bruyne every single season. He starts off the season a little bit slow, but look at his numbers right now, and look at the way he's dictating games as well. I can't sit here and say I'm unhappy with De Bruyne. Whether he does some things in games, there are a bit ambitious passes and stuff like that, and crossing, but what he contributes overall, I make this point, even when he's not playing well, you can't take him off. You can't take him off. He's far too important. And I think someone sent a super chat a while ago saying, other than Haaland, Xhaka is probably the best player in the league right now. I think it's between De Bruyne, Haaland, and I would put Xhaka up there probably as well, because De Bruyne has dug deep for us. When Haaland wasn't there last week against Leicester, he got that free kick. I think he's on something like 8 or 9 or 10 assists or something by now as well. He's way ahead of his own tally from when he equaled was an Henry's assist record a while ago as well. His performance has been huge for us. We talk about big players and big moments, and Kevin De Bruyne is that. I do agree with some City fans that he can be maybe a bit frustrating in certain moments in the games, but he's too important. He's too special. He's got that one moment of magic in his locker, and that's what he's on the pitch to do, and he's doing it for us so far this season. And like I said, he usually starts off slow. It's when the business end of the season kicks in and things really matter, and you're going down to the wire. It's a hit out in those last 5-10 games. De Bruyne has always been huge for us every single time.
Yeah, I just saw, people often say, like, why can't we speak on other people's teams? And like, I was like, what's the word I'm looking for, people? Impressed. I don't know. Let's keep it simple.
De Bruyne, he does this, isn't it? It's like
no, but he doesn't always do this. What I'm saying, this was like proper.
Yeah. This was vintage,
stuff. He lifted them. He was everywhere. Everywhere he needed to be, he got there. You know what I mean? Right. They were man down. You got to remember, if this was a 11 versus 11, I wouldn't have picked him up like this. Yeah. But the fact that he raised it, man, it was
the intelligence.
It was a dodgy penalty though. Like I'm just saying, if Salah done that, we would be laughing.
But I think the way we dug deep, and we had to play out for that penalty, and how hard we worked for those 60 minutes. I think we deserved a little bit of luck. But I also want to say a massive shout out to Ilkay Gundogan for that pass he played through for Junior. That was a star pass, that was. And you know, that's the thing. You know, you spoke about United, Saeed, and you said you don't have any ball carriers, players who can break between the lines, play those, execute those passes that unlock the players who will finish. We have Gundogan can do that. Bernardo can do that. We spoke about De Bruyne there. We're just in a fortunate position. We're in a great position. And I said going up to the World Cup, I just want to be either slightly ahead of Arsenal or within touching distance of them going into the World Cup, because credit them. They're doing great. They have momentum. I just have full confidence.
Say it. You've had your fun. Say it. You've had your fun.
No. Listen. I would have said that maybe 2 weeks ago. Arsenal are serious, right? But what I'm saying, when it comes down to that hit out in the last 5-10 games, when you have to really show your bottle, really show your minerals, dig really deep, like we've done against you many times in the title race, I just back us. And that's not a slander of Arsenal. I just back my team enough to do it.
100%.
Let's look at some super chats that have come in, and we've just, in 15 seconds, it's going to be another 2-hour show. So make sure you guys show some love, people. Hit the like button, subscribe to everybody here as well. And Manscaped are coming back as well, so look out for them. The code still works, TB620. So if you're using Manscaped, go over to the website, TB620. Like I said, they're coming back. So love for the love, because it was your support that done it. So love for that, as usual. Let me see the super chats. Please take away Mount's jersey for England and Chelsea, overrated as usual. Everyone's so worried about Haaland. They're sleeping on Alvarez. The kid has insane potential. Mid says, you let GRIZZ off lightly. He said Saliba should do it over a Prem season like Konaté, but he already matched his tally 12 games in.
Okay, let me just say it again. I said over a season. I said Champions League and Premier League. I didn't specify just Premier League. So rewind the tape. Rewind select and hear what I said.
Rewind the tape. KDB was man of the match. It needs to be a foregone conclusion, like how Cole was best left back in the Premier League. KDB is the greatest midfielder the league has seen.
Oh God, listen.
Yeah, if you're under 19,
our legends.
I know exactly. If you're under 19, I understand what you mean.
Maybe if you didn't see the other guys, then you can say that. But
the legends are still better, but at the rate he's going, by the time he's done in the Premier League, it will genuinely
he will be amongst them.
Because he's
no doubt. But there's no doubt.
He's top 10 right now.
No one can deny that he will be amongst the chat. We've said it before.
Yes, he's not. He's competing against players that were here from 18 all the way to 34. Like they didn't move. They didn't go to Germany. Like he's unfortunate in that respect, because he maybe started late, but.
People can have short spurts and do enough in that short spurt to be in with a debate. 100%.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, to be undisputed, like that comment saying, is nuts.
You know what? As GRIZZ was saying, Gerrard, and I've heard the Gerrard comparison or bits of his game. I can't lie. Sometimes his passing reminds me of Bergkamp. Some of the passes he does around the defender, the curl on it. That's what Bergkamp used to do every week for us. So if one of us is seeing a little bit of Gerrard, one of us is seeing a bit of Bergkamp, he's going to be in the conversation. Whether it's 100%. Now, like TOBS said, by the end of it, he's going to be in the conversation for sure.
Yeah. And his weight of pass is ridiculous. His weight of pass is the best, I'd say, in world football right now.
With him as well, he gets there's this buzzword on Twitter. Sometimes he gets called like a robot because he's like a machine, but like he's got his shooting quality is fake with both feet. Free kicks, passing on the ground, in the air. And the one thing that a lot of people have only started to deep in the last year and a half or so,
how strong he is.
His engine and his strength is a joke. His running power is insane. KDB is one of the best athletes in the Premier League, and people don't really talk about it because he's I don't know, maybe because he's white, maybe because he's ginger, but like when it comes to running power, getting the ball, taking it from A to B, there's not many players who can keep up with KDB in the league. There's not many.
Ginger Toure.
Yeah, that's a game that everyone kind of maybe slandered a little bit too much, his athleticism and whatnot, which is showing he's durable, man.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes him like the best. For me, he's still the best midfielder on the planet, and I think that's what makes him the best midfielder, because he's got the technical quality and he's got the P&P you need to compete in today's game.
Yeah. Quality player.
Jason says, might have been a soft penalty, but that was a terrible challenge to make in your box. I agree. At 1-1 against City, you can't do that. It's not smart. Too many men says, top 4 predictions, lads. None of you can say Arsenal won't be there. And I Spurs, you know what? We actually did do a mid-season kind of review of our predictions last year. It was on DR Sports Live. But you know what? We'll do that for you guys. Sometime between next week after the Premier League takes a break and then before the Premier League gets back, we'll have a little review of our... Or maybe we do it after 19 games. I'll see. We'll work it out. Abdullah with a couple says, big up, guys. GRIZZ, Liverpool need midfield players. SAEED, what's wrong with your players yesterday? TOBS, your defensive coach, beaten by your Liverpool. Matisse, I hope them chili peppers don't affect you this morning, my bro. We are top of the league. We are top of the league. Partey and Saliba, oh my God. Get Matty Renton. Listen, when Newcastle start doing their thing, which it seems like they're starting now, we've got plans. Matty, Philippe in the chat as well, who's been a long supporter of the show. Don't worry, we'll make the right choice. Bergkamp, most underrated Premier League player. My Arsenal GOAT. Quality. Everyone, who do you regret not having hit their potential at your club and what could have been done? My guy, because it is just past 2 hours, it's been a long one. We'll save this one for another day, maybe even another show. For me, it's Wilshere. Is it Wilshere? Yeah, for me, it's probably Wilshere off the top of my head. And last one, Tobes, it makes no sense for you to say Spurs will finish above Arsenal based on the evidence so far. Are you trying to speak it into existence? Rolling bones, come on, Nostradamus, help me out.
Football's a humbler.
What are you saying, though? Yes or no, though? For someone that talks about fences a lot, you sat on the fence with that one.
Yeah, I'm taking a leaf out of your book. I'm sitting on the fence with this one. Let's see.
Oh, okay. You've been reading my book, yeah? Say no more.
Yeah, I've been reading your book.
Say no more, man. Cool. People, still 8K in the building. We've already passed 3,000 likes. We're going to call it a day. We are back this Thursday. I don't know the time yet because it's in my notes. But if you're
no. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be on Thursday because we got Carabao Cup.
Oh, so why are you going
to it? Why are they stressing you lot out on a Thursday, man? Every game is on a Thursday.
Are you going to it?
Going on?
Yeah, I'm going to it.
10:30. We'll see what Cams is doing because a lot of people have been asking for Cams and a little return. So I'll check out what Cams is doing. We'll see.
What game? Sorry, you got a game on Thursday?
Yeah, man. They put the Carabao Cup on Thursday, which is weird because United are playing on. You know, I mean, we played on Sunday. Everyone else played on Sunday, so I don't know. It's weird.
Cool. Ryan, I said you said, did you guys speak on the Champions League and Europa League draws? We haven't, but we've got plenty of time for that. Those fixtures are next year. We're going to talk about it. 100%. Some juicy fixtures in there, but we are calling it a night here. Like I said, hit the like button, get it up to 4,000. Why not? Make sure you're here Thursday, 10:30 p.m. after the United Carabao Cup game. And then we'll preview the last game week before the World Cup. And then we'll let you know the plans about the World Cup the week after. So stay tuned here and stay tuned everywhere. Subscribe to everyone here. All links in the description below. Love for the love. We are out, people. Peace.